Hey everyone, you're listening to the official podcast of 4playernetwork.com. Check us out at that address for everything you need to know about our community, monthly giveaways, and nightly live streams. You can even support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4player. And last but not least, you can catch the live recordings of these podcasts every single Thursday night on our Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. Enjoy. Let's just use that. Let's just roll right into the podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 706. It is our first podcast of 2022. So I'd like to start by wishing everybody here a happy new year. Happy New Year to my fellow podcasters.
Happy New Year! You made it. You survived 2021.
It was. Crispy has thoughts.
I have had Omicron the entirety of 2022 now, so
I wasn't sure. I didn't want to out you there. So you doing all right though?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm great, but I'm still like sequestered away for fear of infecting others. I feel fine, but I mean, I guess the cedar in Austin is also just going crazy right now.
Allergies have also been crazy the past few weeks.
Yeah. I had a blue car at one point, and now it's kind of this orange green bullshit.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad you're doing okay, Crispy, and I'm glad everybody here has made it to 2022. It was a little touch and go there, but we made it. I would also like to extend a happy new year to all of our listeners at home, all of our listeners watching here on Twitch. It's exciting times. 2021 is officially behind us, and this episode is actually all about 2022. In a minute, we're gonna just start. We're doing our usual thing, our usual bit. We like to start the year off by going down a pretty comprehensive list of the games that are kind of expected to release this year, or at least tentatively, potentially, maybe releasing this year. So, past few years, we've reached out to the community in Discord, and we've collaborated on a Google Doc until we have a nice, comprehensive list. Although, I'm going to point out right now that before I was doing this, there's like 130 something games in this list. Mm-hmm. You know what? Final Fantasy XVI wasn't on there, and I was like, how? How did you remember to put? Let's see. What's a weird ass one here? Starship Troopers Terran Command is on here.
Terran.
And you forgot to put Final Fantasy XVI on here. So I will say this: if we miss anything, just let us know in chat.
It's your fault.
And it's your fault. But yeah, we have a pretty extensive list here. I've tried to kind of organize things in a logical manner. We're gonna go in the first segment. We're gonna go through games that kind of have an official have a release date, like an actual, like it's coming out on this day, followed by games that are supposed to be coming out in, spring, fall, summer, whatever. And then in the second segment, it's going to be all games that are just like crapshoots. Like, we know they exist, but there's a chance it's coming out this year, but it might not. So there's a lot of those as well. A couple little bits of housekeeping before we get too far. I want to let everybody know a couple things. One, we updated our website yesterday. You can check it out. It has a nice little new coat of paint. And along with that, we posted the first Revival Club poll of 2022. And it's a list curated by our very own Christopher Davis.
Yes.
So, yeah. And it's 3 games chosen by Chris Davis. Like I said, we're going to be doing that. That's the way we're going to be doing it this year. We're going to be rotating through staff members and community members doing their own list, and we'll pick from those.
I had about 9 or 10. And then I culled it down a little, and then I had to meet with Nick to talk about it and think about what else to put. And
then I whittled it down to like games only that I would actually like to play. I got to secretly curate Chris Davis's list. That's not actually true, but the games that he chose. You want to share which games you decided to go with?
So when we do the Revival Club, we try to pick games that are relevant in the moment. Basically things that had news recently or have some kind of new, version coming out. So that's pretty much what my list is. I have Warhammer 40K Space Marine, which is a delightful third-person brawler power fantasy thing.
Never played it.
We have my favorite video game of all time, which is Splinter Cell Chaos Theory.
Also never played it.
Absolute wonderful game.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know
if
a few
COVID
people were
wasn't
hoping
such a bitch, I would want to see if we could either do a LAN thing and actually play the co-op, because the co-op is really good too.
That's what I hear.
And then the third one, because we have a new Dead Space coming out, I decided that we should probably, with time having passed and maybe,
just say it. You went with Dead
Space
3.
Dead
You know
Space
what?
3?
Now, I love Dead Space
in the
2.
Revival Club.
Dead Space 1 is pretty good. I chose Dead Space 3 mainly because I would really like the opportunity to play through that game in co-op, because I never got to play it co-op.
It's pretty fun with co-op. I started playing it recently with Robin, and then something came out and obviously put that down. But
and it's honestly, it's not nearly as bad as people made it out to be.
No, it's definitely not. But you know what?
There's a lot of hyperbole.
Okay, but even if that game is great, isn't it a little modern for the Revival Club?
No, I mean the general rule of thumb is we don't want to pick anything from this generation or the generation just prior. So no PS4, no PS5, that kind of thing. But that's an Xbox 360 game. I think that's totally fair.
This year it'll be 10 years old, I think.
I want to applaud Chris Davis for recognizing that the Revival Club is not always about picking the best game. It's about picking, games
the worst
that you may not have tried. It's about picking the worst game.
The one that we all intentionally skipped because it wasn't any good.
But those are the games I want people to try. I want people to, there's conversations to be had about games.
Okay.
I had other games on that list. You want me to pull up exactly what Nick decided to call?
Cold Fear. You know what? Cold
I'm saying
Fear.
Yeah, you did.
Which is a
do
good
Cold
game.
Fear.
It's a good game. Hey,
I had on that also Super Mario RPG.
Not very accessible.
That makes sense.
Not super accessible, unfortunately.
Well, if you were able to get a SNES Mini that you could play it, that's the official way to
not accessible,
right
Chris Davis. Do you know what accessible means?
I gave you my SNES Mini for a year and you never played it.
Exactly.
Are you gonna loan everybody your SNES Mini?
Yeah, everyone in the Revival Club is gonna get Chris Davis' SNES Mini to play.
We all have to play.
We'll pass it around, and then about 9 months from now, we'll actually record the show. I also did Ace Combat Zero, one of my favorites, and then I also had Alpha Protocol was a finalist as well.
Gotcha.
Because I never played Alpha Protocol, so
interesting choices. But I think the three that you went with make the most sense. They're all the most relevant in terms of they're on our minds. In fact, those games will come up tonight because they're on this list. So we're gonna get started on that now, because we have a lot of stuff to go through. Again, I've highlighted the games that I think we're kind of maybe generally speaking most interested in here. I'll name drop some ones and we'll probably just move on from them pretty quickly here. But again, big shout out to the community for helping put this list together. If I miss anything in chat, feel free to shout it out. But first list we're gonna go down are games that literally have release dates. These could change, obviously. Who the fuck knows? But we're gonna see where this goes. And we're gonna start with a game that's releasing very soon, January 14th, in fact, that's next week. And it's DLC for one of our favorite games of last year.
No, it's not DLC.
Oh, it
was
used
originally
to be
DLC.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
Yes.
Superland 6 Inches Under. Is there a gimmick to this one that gives it its title that I'm not familiar? I watched the trailer and it was magical and made me super excited to play Superland again. But I couldn't quite pick up on if there was something super special about mechanically. You know what I mean?
Probably not.
I think
Superland.
I think the gimmick is that it's a sequel to a delightful game.
Yep.
But the weirdest thing is it's not really a sequel because there is a sequel called Superland 2 in development. This is just standalone DLC
a halfway
or standalone expansion. But you know what? It's awesome. Yeah, and I'm super excited. If you haven't played Superland, just go fucking play it right now because it's amazing. Next, we have Nobody Saves the World. And this is the next game from Drinkbox, the guys that did Guacamelee. Yeah. And this game actually looks really cool. It's like an action RPG. Has their signature Drinkbox style. Again, too, I will mention when I post this podcast. So if you're listening to this at home, I'm going to post the link to this Google Doc that we're working off of here. And the doc has all the information that we're rattling off, including links to trailers. So if something sounds interesting and you can't quite picture it, check out the doc, click the link, and you'll see it. Anybody here particularly interested in Nobody Saves the World, or should I move on?
No,
I don't like. So I've seen the trailer. It looks kind of interesting, but I'm still not really 100% what the game is. I like the art style.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a little bit of a departure for that studio, but
yeah, I mean, yeah,
sacrificing their
Guacamelee
style.
is amazing. Yeah, but I'm just not really sure what it is. It says it's an action RPG, but we'll see.
It comes out January 18th, so we'll get our. I mean, that might be one of the first big indie releases of the year, I guess. Or is that technically indie? I don't fucking know. I didn't highlight this, but it's on the list. Rainbow Six Extraction. Chris Davis is making a face, so I feel like I maybe was justified not highlighting it.
I'm so no.
So in the doc, I have a column for cause for hype. So I let the community kind of like fill in reasons why maybe we should be interested in it, and they wrote Venom joins the Siege team. And I think I get it. It makes sense. But yeah, I'm not particularly excited about this one either. And it's the weirdest fucking thing.
I try to be a positive person. I try not to be like really, really negative or like wish like the worst on a game and the hundreds, even thousands of people that are making it. But this fucking video game, I have no love for in my heart.
Hey, let's just be real. When I was watching that, I think it was at E3 or whatever this year, and they did that whole like way too long segment about this. I was like, you know what? This looks like it could be fun and cool, but like the fact that it has Rainbow Six in the title just makes me like really confused. So moving on. Windjammers 2. I didn't highlight
what the fuck
this.
Is that?
I don't know.
That's a sequel to Windjammers.
Yeah, it's a sequel to Windjammers. You know about Windjammers?
Yeah. So here's the funny thing. This is our first year doing this without Brad. So again, Brad's probably watching at home, screaming into a pillow.
Windjammers was a classic SNK arcade game. It was like dual disc golf frisbee stuff.
Correct.
It looked to be a lot of fun.
It's from the guys who did Streets of Rage 4 and the new TMNT Shredder's Revenge, it sounds like.
Yeah, correct. Crispy, think like to an extent Pong in reality, because it is a thing going
Frisbee.
back and forth. But with Ultimate Frisbee, and then you add on like, you have like abilities and powers and stuff like that.
Cool.
So it makes it more fun.
Man of the Lamb in chat makes a good point. He says Windjammers, the game made popular by Giant Bomb. And now that I think about it, it's been a while since I've listened to Giant Bomb, but you're right. They do talk about Windjammers quite a bit. So the next game on the list is, and I don't know how excited any of us actually are for this, but it is high profile, Pokemon Legends Arceus? Arceus. This is the open world thing, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I would say I would put open worlds in like the biggest quotes you could.
But it's also like feudal Japan or something. Like, isn't it like a historical style Pokemon?
Yeah,
I'm seeing some people describe it as like Monster Hunter.
A lot of people have been, and I think that is because you encounter the Pokemon in the world and stuff like that. And I don't know all the details. I've been.
I will say this:
is it Monster Hunter? Is it Monster Hunter in like the way that the world is structured, or it's like you're going into different biomes? That like it's not one giant open world, but it's like different like biome areas that have different Pokemons, and those areas are open, and you like go out and capture them and come back.
I think that's accurate, but the weird thing about this is because I feel like you would think with that kind of approach. Like, because even if it was like open but zoned off, you would think that maybe the world would be like prettier. But like, I remember seeing this and being like, this looks ugly, like kind of like real ugly. And
it's probably gonna have a draw distance of like 15 feet.
It's one of those things where it's like, man, I wish I could be excited for this, but like, I don't know.
It's frustrating because when you compare it to other games of the not too recent past, like Breath of the Wild, like Monster Hunter Rise, it doesn't look anywhere near as good as those.
Exactly. But you know what? Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe it just didn't show well or whatever. We'll find out soon.
I'm waiting on this one for the main fact that Pokemon is just it has been off my radar for years, just because I'm kind of tired of it just being the same crap over and over.
Yeah, at some point
and
I
if this one is a big enough change, it might bring me back.
At some point I just was like, I just got to give up on Pokemon, man. I don't think it's gonna happen, but maybe who knows. That's coming out at the end of this month, January 28th. So the next game, Dying Light 2, February 4th. We've talked about this game a lot. I think this is
oh boy.
Question. I mean, we're excited about this. I think we all here played quite a bit of Dying Light and
the first
enjoyed
one's
it.
Amazing.
And I think we all want this to be really good. It's a bit of a question mark because it seems really ambitious.
For sure.
But
and they've also had some troubles.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There's been some troubles. But they really ramped up their marketing and like talking about the game a lot in the past like 3 or 4 months. So they seem confident that like it's like they have something. They seem confident with what they're about to deliver, and we're gonna find out in less than a month. That's February 4th. So
do you think it's either?
Can't wait to play it on my Switch.
Yeah. Do you think it's confidence, or do you think it's actual, maybe a little bit of desperation?
Smoke and mirrors. I mean, I think it's probably the answer is probably a little bit of both. Like there's this game, like Dying Light had a lot of jank, but it was also just incredibly fun.
That doesn't mean it wasn't a complete world that you can explore with quests and interesting areas and great mechanics. And
you know what? Moving through that world was fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. The traversal. And that being said, they also were very, very consistent on patching and updating and making sure the game was as good as it could be. And yes, while it was a little jank when it first came out, they put a lot of effort into solidifying it over the years.
I think they're still releasing like DLC packs and stuff for that first game, so they've been supporting the hell out of it. So I mean, this is a big franchise for them. I hope it's an improvement all the way around. And
remember that battle royale they put out for it?
No, but that's kind of the point. But you know, it's one of those things where it's like I saw it and I was like, this almost looks too good to be true. But I guess we'll have our answer very soon. The next game is Sifu.
Sifu.
This is like the martial arts game, right?
Awesome. Yeah,
it does look pretty awesome.
This one looks dope.
I don't really know what else to say about this one other than if you like martial arts, it seems like kind of a fun.
We'll be playing it in a month. It's the guys who did Absolver.
Right. Cool. Looks fun. We got Ollie World. I don't know. Did anybody have all opinions on Ollie World?
I think it's really weird that they're putting out another prequel to Oxenfree.
Chris Davis. Chris Davis, get out of here.
Red card.
Yes. Crispy wishes he had that red card now. Crossfire X. Is this the fucking the Remedy game?
South Korean free-to-play shooter.
Yeah, Remedy's
single player campaign by Remedy.
Right. Yeah. So this is that really weird like military shooter, but like it's only interesting because Remedy is specifically doing the campaign, and the campaign looks like super cinematic and like kind of, you know, action packed and exciting. I don't know much about the gameplay, but like it looks kind of like a movie. I don't know what to think of this, and it has a dumb name. Like I can't really get over. I can't help but think about that, like Crossfire. You know what I mean? It's not good. It's not good. Next we have King of Fighters 15. Anybody here?
The 15th entry in the King of Fighters series.
Yeah, it's February 17th. Followed by Total War Warhammer 3, also on the 17th. No?
Apparently, there are people who play that.
See,
of course there are.
I did a pretty good job, I think, of highlighting the right ones here.
Actually, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in our community who are really big into Warhammer. So I'm sure there's a bunch of people in our Discord who would like to talk about Warhammer with you.
Yes,
they wrote under Cause for Hype. They wrote third installment in the Warhammer strategy game, Daemons of Chaos, Kislev, Ogres, and Cathay. I don't know what any of that means.
Demons of Chaos. It's they. I mean, it's the word is just demons.
Is it
They
Cathay with
just
a C
spell
or
it weird.
Cathay with a K?
Cathay with a C. Cathay. I don't.
Kathy.
That's
Kathy?
Kathy. Good old
Like,
Kathy.
like the cartoons from the newspapers.
Yeah, exactly. Next game we have is Horizon Forbidden West. Probably this is the second big AAA release of the year, I would say. Um, February is like stupid packed with like big,
Yeah.
big meaty games.
Big dumb, big meaty claws.
Big thick meat. But you know, I'm getting steadily more and more excited for this. It looks absolutely insane, visually speaking, I guess. And I love that first game. Oh, and this, I don't think this is going to show up on the list tonight, but they did announce at CES the other day, they announced the PlayStation VR 2, and they announced a new Horizon game for that. Call of the Mountain.
Yes.
Call of the Mountain, I believe is what it's called.
I don't really know what that one is. It seems, I don't want to say it seems like it's on rails, but it kind of seemed like it. But I've been hearing some good things about it from obviously people who've already seen it. But yeah,
I do know that no matter what it is, the scale of like what of what Horizon is, like just the nature of being like a human surrounded by these like giant like mechanical dinosaurs, I'm absolutely gonna want to try that out because like in VR that would be kind of amazing. So, but yeah, for Forbidden West, not a ton to say about it. We've seen all the trailers. I think I'm kind of like I don't need to see any more. I'm sold on it. I'm ready for it.
If the Frozen Wilds is the foundation for what they decide to build the sequel on, dude, there's a lot to be excited for. Frozen Wilds, in my opinion, was just transcendental compared to the base Horizon experience.
That is an interesting take. I'm not entirely sure where that's coming from because I found them both to be about on par with each other. But I also
I think it comes from. I mean, in my opinion, it comes from like their method of storytelling and like the writing and acting that they put in together. Like it feels
was good in the first game.
Night and day by comparison, in my opinion.
Are you serious, dude? The writing and the acting in the first game was just as good, in my opinion, anyways. But we don't need to debate that right now. It's Horizon is on track to be pretty darn good, I think. And I'm very much looking forward to it. That's February 18th. The next game on here, not even a game. The Uncharted movie comes comes out on the 18th. I'm mentioning that because they put it in the doc, so they clearly wanted to hear us talk about it. Where do y'all stand on the Uncharted movie?
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry. I just said like 5 times it doesn't look good. I've seen trailers for this several times recently, and I don't think this movie is gonna be like. I don't know. I don't know anything about Uncharted, so my opinion maybe doesn't matter. But it doesn't seem like a faithful adaptation of Uncharted.
Every once in a while, I completely forget that Crispy hasn't played Uncharted.
And then even just as like a standalone movie, it doesn't like. The whole thing rests on the chemistry between Tom Holland and fucking Mark Wahlberg, and it just doesn't seem like they have any. So like,
no,
this movie looks stupid.
I will say this. I don't typically have faith in video game-based movies. I don't think any of us do, and for good reason. The first trailer I saw of this movie, I don't think looked good. Second trailer, I wouldn't even say looked good, but it looked better than that first one. Like it had moments where I was like, okay, this looks like it could be fun at times. I don't know. So
I don't understand why they looked at that video game and were like, let's make a movie of it, and then they cast the people that they did.
Exactly, like
Tom Holland, maybe, I guess, but like Mark Wahlberg, Nolan, you're doing the money thing, and it's like, what money is Mark Wahlberg pulling in anymore? Come on,
this movie. I mean, the funny thing about this movie is, and I don't remember all the specifics, but like this movie has been in development for so long that Mark Wahlberg was originally expected to play Nathan Drake, and now he's playing Sully. Like that in and of itself should tell you something.
Right. So the only reason that he's playing the role that he's playing is because contracts. Like, it's
Yeah.
because of this movie being in production hell. It's not going to be good. That's a bad sign.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
It's not. There's no way in hell I'm going to brave COVID to go see this in theaters.
Yeah.
But I'll probably watch it one day in an afternoon or something when it's available at home. See what's up. The next game on the list is Martha is Dead, and I don't. This is a horror game, I think, but I don't know much about it, other than to say
the trailer looks
Martha.
interesting. Yeah, it's like there's a lot kind of going on with the trailer. There's like some, like puppeteering and some books, but you're also like traversing a world.
Is it horror?
Oh no,
is it
it's
horror
definitely
game?
horror. Oh yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Cool.
I have no recollection of that developer's previous game, The Town of Light.
I think this is one of those developers that makes like, not to sound, I'm not trying to be negative here, but like little known horror games, which there are a lot of little known horror games out there that are pure gems. So I'm not sure where they fall on that spectrum. But yeah, this one's called Martha is Dead. It's coming out February 24th. If you're into like indie horror games, maybe keep an eye out for that one. There's a trailer in the doc. Check it out. Oh yeah, maybe it's a Carlos game, although probably not. All right, the next game is a little game none of us have heard of called Elden Ring. This is pretty much
that?
This is pretty much where 2022 stops, and everything past it is pointless. No, I'm just kidding. But
I think this is the highest profile game we've talked about so far.
Oh, for sure.
This is one of those games that kind of brings the industry and brings the kind of the zeitgeist to a halt. Like everything else ceases to be talked about, and you're going to hear about nothing but Elden Ring for probably 2 months.
I'm pretty sure it was the most anticipated game of 2021
and 2020.
Can't fucking wait.
But man, it's so close, and it feels very real now. And yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to miss that date. So,
oh no.
I hope everybody has Horizon Forbidden West and Dying Light 2 if you're playing those finished before then.
We might have to triage for our coverage. Like
I might. I'm going for all three. I'm just probably going to take some time off.
I'm going to be in Mexico.
Do they have that in Mexico, Nolan? Yeah.
I mean, probably, but I don't think I'm going to get it while I'm there.
All right. You know what? I don't know what else to say. There is literally nothing we can say about Elden Ring right now that we haven't said 1,000 times over. It's open world Dark Souls, and it looks great. If you want to hear about it, we did a podcast. I can't remember what episode number it was, but we talked to Jaeger, who spent like 20 hours or something playing the open beta.
Yeah, we spent nearly an hour talking over 9 minutes of footage.
Yeah, so we did. That is true. But yeah, go check that episode out. He talks a lot about it. Got me super excited. Next, we have Babylon's Fall, which is March 3rd. This is a next Platinum Games title. It's a live service game, right? That's what it says here. And it's co-op dungeons. And this is the one, like, the art style keeps kind of fluctuating. Like, it started looking kind of, at first, it looked kind of ugly and brown, and then they started kind of lightening it up and giving it more of a...
I mean, the art style is supposed to resemble, like, an oil painting.
Yeah, but, like, it didn't at first. Like originally, it just looked really drab and dull, and then they added that, like, oil painting-esque look to it, and it started to look better. Mechanically speaking, I don't know much about this. This strikes me as one of those Platinum games that I'm going to just kind of let go by personally. But I think Brad's interested in this. I mean, well, it's a Platinum Games game, so I'm pretty sure Brad's interested in it by default. But I don't know. It comes out like a week after Elden Ring, so I think it's kind of doomed. You know what I mean? Next we have Triangle Strategy. That's a weird name, right?
It's Final Fantasy Tactics, but not called Final Fantasy Tactics.
Basically.
Oh, yeah, this is that game.
Yeah, it used to be called Project Triangle Strategy. Now it's just Triangle Strategy. It's coming out for the Switch. It's like a tactics game. It kind of in the same visual style as Octopath Traveler.
Octopath?
In fact, it's the same studio, if I remember correctly. And this is one of those games that, like, to me, looks so visually stunning and like appealing that I kind of want to play it by default. But I just remember Brad talking about playing the demo, and like apparently the voice acting is really bad. Maybe.
I mean,
and
that's something that could potentially change as well. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I don't think they're gonna like obviously re-record all the lines and stuff, but
is it bad?
I don't know.
Is it grating? Like bad as in grating, or is it bad as in just like it's no like it's not a movie? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I don't know where it falls. I haven't heard it myself. Drunken Merchant in chat says it's very bad in capital letters. So that's kind of scary. Scare me off. I don't know.
Good thing we spent so much time talking about it.
Well, that's why you have a volume slider for dialogue.
This is why we
and Jeff in chat brings up a good point. You could also just use the OG Japanese voice acting and just it's all text, yeah.
If I can't understand what they're saying, I don't know if the voice acting is bad. So that's true. That's a good trick. We don't need to talk about this. I'm totally doing that, assuming there's actually a Japanese voice track.
Oh, there will be.
So next game is Gran Turismo 7.
Well, cars. Next game is Chocobo GP.
It's another racing game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna guess
this is Final Fantasy. Yeah, no, this is Final Fantasy, but like Mario Kart. It's Final Fantasy Kart.
Yeah. So is that going to be the game that starts Square Enix's NFTs? You think Chocobo NFTs instead of apes?
Oh right.
We didn't hope.
We haven't had a chance to talk about Square Enix getting into NFTs, but
and Konami too, right? Oh
yeah,
boy.
Apparently everyone's getting in
on
it.
Oh boy. Oh boy, the future is bright.
I can't wait for the next Silent Hill game. The whole thing's going to be an NFT.
No, it'll be blockchain. Okay. It won't be NFT.
I don't even know what that means.
Blockchain could be a Silent Hill villain, though, right? Like it's got like a big block on a chain and it smashes you.
I've never really heard someone describe a Silent Hill villain as if that's. I don't know, it's just a weird concept to me.
Oh yeah, like fucking Pyramid Head isn't a Silent Hill villain.
Well, I guess you're right. He's pretty special though. I don't know. I don't feel like that's kind of a common thing throughout him. Whatever. Next game, Tunic is finally coming.
Yeah, boy.
March 16th, man.
The Little Fox Legend of Zelda game?
Yes.
Legend of Zelda for furries?
Yes. Well, yes.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, sure. But also like Legend of Zelda that, if I remember correctly, we talked about this. We played it at PAX a long time ago. Surprisingly difficult.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know if this is going to be one of those cozy Zelda games or one of those like, you like Zelda? How do you like Zelda kicking your ass kind of Zelda games? I don't know, but
I mean, some people are into that, Nick. But yeah, like you said, the demo we played was really good. It was difficult. But at the same time, extremely fun. Fantastic art style, really interesting world. I'm really looking forward to it. If you haven't seen it, definitely look up a trailer. This has been in development for a very long time too. So very excited that it's finally coming out.
And also like and Prince of the Universe brings this up in chat about Death's. It kind of like it gives me the same kind of vibes that I got of like Death's Door, but I think the difference is Death's Door is a very cozy, easygoing, like, breezy Zelda clone, which is great. I think it works wonderfully for that series. But like this is like I don't want to say Dark Souls, but like it enemies will kick your ass in Tunic if the demos we played are anything to base that off of. So. I don't know. Looks cool. That's March 16th. We got Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. I don't honestly know why I highlighted this, other than I feel like Brad would.
We definitely want to talk about it. It's definitely a big game that's coming out. It's definitely a potentially important game. Doesn't mean it's going to be good. One of the biggest
disappointments for me of 2021 was thinking we were about to get a Neo type game set in the Final Fantasy universe, and seeing this.
It's Team Ninja.
I've never had more of just like a complete like it's like complete opposite of what my brain was imagining.
The rug was pulled out from under you.
And we have played this game twice at this point, and neither time was good.
Yeah. So I don't know what to think about this. I'm probably gonna skip it, but I'm sure. I think Brad was probably gonna play it. Even if he hates it, this is just one of those games. I feel like he feels like he owes it to himself to play it because it's Final Fantasy. It's from Team Ninja, so someone here will play it. So we got Rune Factory 5. We got Relayer. Both of those. I don't know. Relayer says SRPG with mechs.
Ooh.
Which could be
mechs.
Cool.
Strategy RPG. I had in my head like 16-bit SNES RPG. Okay, all right. Strategy RPG.
This is from Katakawa Games, the guys that did God Wars Future Past and God Wars: The Complete Legend. I don't know either of those games either, but if that sounds cool to you, check it out. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, March 25th. I think we all kind of pretty familiar with this, but you know what? I'm pretty excited for this because it just looks charming as hell. Nice, fun twist on the usual like Borderlands.
I think I'm gonna try this.
Formula.
It really could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, it could be too like the comedy of Borderlands is really hit or miss. It's either
I really did not like 3, so
yeah.
I don't know.
I do like Tiny Tina and
sure.
Ashley Birch. So it seems cool. It's like a D&D. It's like Borderlands D&D.
Yeah.
Which could be a neat thing. I don't know what to
they're adding like a bunch of like melee weapons and stuff. It could be cool. Cool. We'll see.
Could be neat. Again, this is the second time I think I've mentioned this on the recording. Starship Troopers, Terran Command.
Yeah, what the
it's an
fuck?
RTS.
It's
RTS based on line of sight.
I was watching the trailer for this, and it looks like a boring StarCraft 2.
I have played the demo of this, and it is a boring StarCraft 2.
Yeah. How could it not
would
be?
You like to know more?
What? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. No thanks. Like
you don't want to do your part?
I really like. Okay, look, man. When I was younger, I had a really deep love for Starship Troopers, both the novel and the Paul Verhoeven film.
There's a novel.
What are you talking about?
What? Is it based off of a novel?
Are you kidding?
It was a Robert Heinlein novel. This was like from the like golden age of sci-fi. Yeah.
Guys,
the book is nothing like the movie at all.
Not.
Like it's very different. But the book is like also like I don't know. I think what's really interesting talking about Starship Troopers is acknowledging that like that Paul Verhoeven made like actually a really good movie on its own merits, and it is also, as adaptations go, one of the like meanest, most like mean-spirited, like horrible, like vile things that one artist has ever done to another. And Heinlein probably deserved it, but like it's really funny to watch. Like when you watch the commentaries for the movie, Paul Verhoeven's like, I read 2 chapters of the book and was like, no thanks, and then just like did whatever the fuck he wanted. Like it's amazing. It's so good.
This changes my whole world view because like
how the film is an overly like it's a commentary on a fascist military state, right?
Yeah, it's basically like satire of like, wouldn't it be great if the world was run by veterans?
Yeah,
and the book is very much like
that turned up to 11.
The book is Heinlein being like it's like his manifesto for like, this is what I think the world would be like if the veteran class ran everything, and I think it would be good. Like, it's just so weird. But the book itself is, I don't know, we're talking way too much about this game. But Starship Troopers is just a really interesting subject. Definitely worth reading and watching the movie. Do not watch any of the sequels. The sequels are like insanely bad. The 3rd sequel was produced by fucking Casper Van Dien, and he had already gone like all crazy, like born again Christian. And the 3rd movie is basically about how how Jesus helps humans win the war against bugs, and like
Yes.
it's not even like subtextual. It's like at the end of the movie they all have crosses and they're
Oh,
like, God's on
it's
our
insane.
side. Like, it's so fucking bad.
You know those
Anyway,
like newsreels that
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah,
Let
it's
red
insane.
card, next card, next game. Weird West.
We've
the
reached the point in
TV show, by the way, is really good. I like
Oh
the TV
yeah,
Chris.
the TV show. Yeah, the Roughneck Chronicles was really good.
Roughneck
I'm sorry.
Chronicles is great.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're still talking about Starship Troopers.
I know.
The point of the show where I get to name drop Dark Watch has arrived.
Yes.
What is it called? Evil West. Evil
Weird,
West is the next
Weird West.
Weird
Sorry,
West.
there's two
West.
games. There's one called Evil West and one called Weird West. So actually, I think I jumped the gun. Weird West is the isometric action RPG. It's like a top down immersive sim.
But aren't they both though?
But I mean maybe. But like the one I'm thinking of is Evil West, and that's the one that looks like a fucking Dark Watch ratcheted up to 11. So I'm sorry. That's my bad. I jumped the gun. But Weird West could be cool too. And that's coming out March 31st. So
Cool name. Could be cool. Who knows?
Yeah.
Could be cool. Yeah, you're gonna hear that a lot. This is the Could Be Cool show.
Could be cool. Could be cool.
Sonic the Hedgehog. There's 3
No!
movies.
No movies! Why are we talking about movies? Next game! Stalker 2!
Hell yes, I'm super excited for Stalker 2.
Yes.
We
Especially
get it. After April, everyone's gonna have a weird hard-on for echidnas. Whatever. Who cares? Stalker 2!
They already had a weird hard-on for echidnas, man.
Yeah. Knuckles
Oh my God.
by Idris Elba is really gonna awaken some things in people. Whatever. Red card. Stalker 2.
It's just gonna confirm things, not even wait.
Hey, let me just tell you, Stalker 2 looks dope. I'm especially after having played Stalker Call of Pripyat for the Revival Club in 2021, which was a great opportunity. That's why I love the Revival Club. I'm now super jazzed for this. It looks a bit more open. It looks, it has all those like the trailer that the gameplay that we have seen looks like it has kind of all the elements from Call of Pripyat that I love, like the anomalies and like the weird shit. Like you have to detect these invisible anomalies by throwing bolts, like metal bolts into the wind just to see if it creates like an explosion. Like that shit's cool, man.
Yeah, no.
If you haven't played a Stalker game, keep your eyes on this. I think it's gonna be pretty good.
I'm
Also,
gonna say there's
no
like
more
2
NFTs. No, they
For
backed
now.
down on their NFTs thing for now, so
now.
that's pretty good.
But there's 2 things I feel about this. Number one, if you're going to get it, probably get the console version.
Really, I don't have the console.
If GSC Game World is anything like the original version of that company, this game is going to launch. It's going to be jank.
So why are
I
you saying
mean
console
jank.
versus? You think it's going to be jankier on PC?
Yes. I'm just saying.
Now, to be fair, you said that's a big if, and that company is largely very different. It's like there's a whole thing we don't need to go into it. If you want to know, the story
but it's also
about
it also has the same studio owner, the big name guy, Gerlukovich, or I forget his name, but
they have Microsoft money now.
I mean, they kind of in a way had some Microsoft money back in the day, but that's
where were they even getting their money from to make the original? They were self-published before, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So now they have Microsoft money behind them.
The other thing is that I wouldn't put money on this coming out in April. I have a feeling that this is going to get pushed.
It very well could, especially if they want to. I think we're still kind of in the zone of like maybe it's still a little too close to Elden Ring, so maybe start pushing stuff out. I don't know, but we can move on. Let's see, disrupting the game from
novel. It's a novel. Red card.
God damn it! It is
Sons
a novel.
of the Forest.
Sons of the Forest. I'm excited about, which is weird because I still haven't played the original Forest. But I'll tell you this. In the past 2 years, I played. Not only did I play Subnautica, is kind of what gave me my love of survival games, my newfound love of survival games. But then I discovered The Long Dark, which I fucking adore. And after I played The Long Dark, I just was like, I want to find the next like really cool survival game. And The Forest is like a survival game mixed with like horror, like running from like cannibals in the woods, horror, like that sounds horrifying, and it's still one of these games that I want to play on the stream. And this just looks like a sequel to that with a bigger budget. So
give me the vibes to like the enemies from what was that Will Smith movie?
Oh,
yeah, either The Descent or I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
Yeah.
They give me those
but
kind of
in
vibes.
The woods.
Yeah.
In the woods. So I'm very, very excited. This is supposed to come out in. I didn't even know it had a release date. It says May 20th, but I don't know. That could slip. But that's pretty cool. We got Cuphead, the delicious last course. Any Cuphead
could be cool.
fans?
Could be cool. I like Cuphead.
I feel like this is going to become Crispy's like, we don't need to say anything about this game. He's just going to say, could be cool. We know we need to move on. Saints Row says,
I'm excited about this.
I
wasn't excited when they first announced it, and then when they showed the other trailer, that was like, oh no, it's still stupid. Don't worry, it's still dumb.
It's still Saints Row.
Here, the benefit of the way they initially announced it was that it got me interested. Because I liked the more grounded, grittier stuff, and then all of a sudden,
you like the boring stuff.
I know I like the boring stuff, but then the next trailer was like, but we still got this too. So now I'm like, best of both worlds, maybe. So like now I'm pretty into it, and I think the setting they chose is kind of inspired. It's like the deserts of like New Mexico or something. I forgot where it is, but it's cool. It looks cool, and it looks silly as hell, and I'm into it. So
100%.
Two more games that have actual release dates. Jet: The Far Shore.
Dude, Jet: The Far Shore looks awesome.
Okay, there we go. I didn't highlight it, but this is good.
I think it looks great. I think it looks really cool. It's that new game from the people that did the Sword and Sorcery. It's Super Brothers. Yeah.
Right.
So it's like this really like atmospheric sci-fi game where you're like flying around this like alien planet in like your little like speeder or something like that. And like I don't know, the trailer, I don't remember it that well, but the trailer looked really cool.
Has a cool style.
It has a very visually it looks a lot like that like Risk of Rain 2 or something.
Yeah,
I can see that.
It looks fucking dope.
I'm into it. All right, and here's the last one with a quote unquote official date. What do we think, guys? Starfield launch on November 11th, 2022.
It will.
Maybe. Could be cool.
Will.
And it's going to be in a horrible state.
Probably.
Dude, yeah.
I think Chris Davis and Nolan are right. It's going to launch when they said it's going to launch, and it's going to be a mess.
And it's just going to be fucking horrible.
The game's going to come with a bucket for you to put over your own head while you play it.
It's probably going to be the least janky Bethesda game ever made. That being said, it's going to be jank.
But here's the question. Where do we stand? Like,
is it going to be cool?
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be cool, Crispy? Are you into like the vibe you're getting from it?
I don't know.
We haven't
seen
the
one trailer they showed though that was like, I don't know, it was like the inside of a spaceship or something. It had much more like, I thought I thought the sci-fi was going to be more like, we're going super futuristic, like Star Citizen kind of thing, but the vibe I was getting was a little more like in the near future, like I don't know, maybe something more like The Expanse or something,
But that's kind of exciting in and of itself, though, right? Like
I feel like it really could be cool, but I don't know. I just feel like super burned out on Bethesda, like. So anytime I try to well up excitement for Starfield, like the rest of my my nervous system is just like, no, you're gonna get hurt. Like, no, it's gonna hurt. Like, I'm like recoiling from the pain that I know is coming. But I don't know.
It's gonna be a real wild card.
Could be cool.
This episode is definitely gonna be called 2022 Could Be Cool. All right, now we're getting into just some general loose dates. We got spring 2022, Ghostwire Tokyo. This is one of those games.
Ghostwire Tokyo isn't out yet?
No,
it hasn't been announced?
No.
No.
I mean, like,
we don't have a release date for it, and I'm still not sure what it is. Like, I mean, it looks when they first announced it, it looked almost like a horror game. This is from Tango Gameworks, the guys that made The Evil Within. It looked very like Japanese horror, but the next time we saw it, it looked like, I mean, it has elements of Japanese horror, but at the same time, it looked like weird, ethereal first person
Wait.
action, like character action.
This is the spooky game,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. This
Yeah,
is
correct.
spooky. Yeah.
Spooky doesn't necessarily mean horror, though.
No. But like the first
whatever.
trailer had a very creepy vibe. The second, like the actual, when we started seeing gameplay for the first time, it's like running around in first person with all these enemies around. And you're doing like these weird like your weapons are like doing hand signals that like create like magic.
Yeah, that's
effects and
cool.
stuff.
I think
Which
that's
is
what this
cool.
game is.
You're right. But I still want to know like I knew going into the Evil Within what it was, even though that like there was a lot of unique stuff.
You know
that
what,
game,
Nick?
but
They both games were fantastic, so it should lead you to believe that this one will be too.
You're right. I'm gonna have faith. I'm just not totally sold on it yet. I'm gonna have faith. I love Tango Gameworks, so I'm gonna support them. I'm gonna play this game. It's a little weird.
It's the studio that made Evil Within 2, so I'm buying this.
And you know what? The studio that made the Evil Within 1 as well.
It's not even.
Shut up, Chris Davis. Get out of here. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Is this like what?
Kirby
Mech?
Kirby? Is this Kirby Mechs?
No,
This
this
is
is
one
the
where he
Kirby
has a
open
big
world
mech?
game.
Yeah, this is like an open world Kirby game. But it's also like it's like the world is like post-apocalyptic or something, right? Like everything's like overgrown with like lush foliage and stuff. Like the cities have collapsed and like,
the ruins of New Donk City.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Man, I haven't heard someone say New Donk City in a while.
New Donk City.
City.
What
Good.
happened to the fucking Kirby game with the mech, where he like had a mech?
That came out like years ago, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
I think
I
it
don't
was like a
play Kirby
3DS
games.
game, right?
No. What?
Uh,
Really?
Man of the Land in chat says this looks like Super Mario 3D World, but with Kirby. Maybe.
Or maybe
It's
Bowser's
definitely
Fury
a larger
specifically.
kind of world. Yeah, more Bowser's Fury with the big open areas. Yeah.
Right. Next game is Forspoken, which I think we actually have a date for this now. It's just not on the dock. I think it's like March something. Dangerously close to Elden Ring. This is
Square
this
Enix
is like,
putting a lot of games out in the same time frame.
So I watched the gameplay reveal, or not reveal, but like they showed like a 10-minute like actual clip of gameplay from this game. And aside from like the traversal, which looks like super fast paced and visually cool, how I feel about the combat. It doesn't look particularly exciting.
I tell you what, the combat kind of makes me think. It's like the visual spectacle of Dragon's Dogma with the actual game mechanics of Infamous.
Like that sounds cool. This didn't this didn't like strike me as particularly cool. But then again, maybe I didn't. Maybe I just didn't understand the mechanics from trying to watch it on the screen. I'm not entirely sure. But what I do think is interesting with this game is I like the idea of this like this normal girl from like our world being pulled into like this high fantasy world. Like she's running around this like Final Fantasy-esque world, but she's wearing like sneakers and like she's from New York City and like that
And
kind
she
of
didn't
stuff.
have to get hit by a truck in order to go to this fantasy world. So
I mean that we know of. But I don't know. It looks cool, but I do think the Drunken Merchant might be right. They may want to delay this game, and it could happen. Anyways, next
I will agree that it seems like a very ambitious game that is coming out very, very quickly after we're hearing about it. Which would, and don't get me wrong, I'm not wanting all games that come out to be 100 hours, but it's worrying me that it's going to be like a 6-hour game.
But it does strike me as being open. It does look like it's going to be open world, but
I mean, you can still have an open world game that's not very big.
Wasn't this
or it could
formally
just be
announced?
empty.
Filled with nothing.
It could be empty.
Wasn't this like announced back in 2020 though?
Well, they announced it. This was like one of those like weird. We thought it was like a Final Fantasy project.
This was Project Athia.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm curious. I want to know more about this game. But it looks like this looks like the game they're going to put out to kind of fill the space in between now and Final Fantasy XVI. So who knows? Moving on, we got Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that for Brad. He's very excited.
Is he?
Yeah, pretty.
I thought he was cooling off on it though because of the art or something.
Yeah.
No, I think he was saying other people are cooling off on it because of the art, but he's basically
Yeah.
saying, "What the fuck are you talking about? It's Advance Wars." You know what I mean?
Well, sure.
And he's also worried because it's a $60 title, and it's like $60 for 2 games that came out
that
a
is
while ago.
rough. That is
It
rough.
is rough.
But
We
whatever. No, I was gonna say I'm excited.
we
Not
got
as
AI the Somnium Files, Nirvana Initiative, detective adventure game. It's a sequel. Moving on. Moss Book 2.
You played
Moss
Moss
is
Book
pretty
1,
good.
didn't you?
I did. Moss Book 2 looks pretty cool as well. I'm definitely going to try this, assuming I can play it. Well, it's on PSVR, and at this point, I haven't hooked my PSVR up in quite some time, especially since I got a PS5.
Oh,
It's
Nick's
still
done
pretty
with
plug and play,
PSVR.
No, dude, I'm
everybody.
saying-
Nick's done with it. He
I
put
mean,
it away.
You can't use a PSVR on a PlayStation 5, right? So you got to wait for the
Really?
PSVR 2.
You can if you have the adapter.
Oh, there's
And I
an
have the
adapter?
adapter.
Okay.
I have the adapter.
Oh my
I will
god.
play. I mean, I'll find a way to play it.
I mean, the PSVR 2 is now scheduled for production, which means it's probably coming this year. So maybe it might be worth
Yeah,
waiting
but it's
for.
also
Yeah, with-
also probably going to be the price of a PS5, and also probably just as hard to get to get. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
True.
So next we have Stray. This is play as a cat in a robot world.
Oh yeah, this game looks cool.
Well, that's
It
the
looks
one that Chris
charming.
Davis didn't like what it looked like because he doesn't like cats.
What?
Yeah.
It was a joke, Chris Davis.
That was a joke.
Chris Davis is about-
I'm not.
Chris
I
Davis
would
about
not
to
be
get
surprised
real-
if this was your most anticipated
a-
game of 2022.
It's an Annapurna Interactive published title, which we all know they're like the A24 of gaming nowadays.
They are. They are. All right, we have quite a few. Like, I'm gonna rattle these off because I don't honestly think any of us really know what any of this is. We got Terror Bane, Choo Choo Charles, which is
Wait, Nick, you don't know Choo Choo Charles?
You're
It's an
making
open
these
world
you're making
survival
these up.
horror.
Oh,
about being
Choo Choo
hunted
Charles
by
is the train game. Oh
Mhm.
fuck, that game looks weird. That was like the game that started as a joke, right?
What?
Well, hold
And
on,
then-
Crispy. Describing it as a train game, I don't think does it.
Yeah,
justice.
you're right. You're right. You're right. It's
This is
not
definitely
like
not a train game.
it's not a train
Oh.
simulator or anything. It's like
It is
it's like a
train game where the
monster.
train is a giant spider monster thing.
Oh,
Right.
what the
You're being
fuck
hunted
is
by
this?
You're being
Yeah.
hunted by a train monster, not a monster
being-
train.
A
train
spider
monster.
train monster.
Yeah,
Like you're
and
being
I
hunted by the evil Thomas the Tank Engine.
I don't
Yeah.
remember the exact context, but I thought this game like started as a joke or something, like that someone posted on Reddit.
I feel like
like-
this is like the natural evolution of people putting Thomas the Tank Engine in Resident Evil 2 as
Oh,
as,
for sure.
as the-
Yeah,
then, like,
as Mr. X.
The
Yeah,
logical conclusion.
like
which it's a fascinating history if that's the way it came to be. Next we have
Charles.
we have Conscript, which is an isometric Silent Hill set in World War One. Which I've never seen this, but that sounds amazing. So I'm going to watch the trailer during the break.
It is very atmospheric. You're going through the trenches, and it's got a very strong horror atmosphere. It feels very tense.
And
Yeah.
I'm into it. Instruments of Destruction says vehicle builder about physics-based destruction from the lead designer of Red Faction Guerrilla.
Oh, it's
That sounds
Banjo
like
Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Maybe
Or what was
Um,
that? Besieged or something like that?
Besieged?
Besieged.
Besieged. Yeah. The next one I didn't highlight, but actually now I remember what it is. Trek to Yomi.
Trek to
which is
Yomi? This game's gonna be dope. This one looks
Yeah.
It looks
awesome.
pretty good.
This
I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that one on the.
This
doc.
is that like side-scrolling samurai Chanbara game. It looks fucking cool. It looks I don't know. It looks like it's going even farther towards like trying to capture that old like samurai flick feel than say something like
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima was doing.
Apparently
it looked-
developed by the same team that did Shadow Warrior. And it's a Devolver Digital game.
Okay.
So I don't know. This looks cool. It does look very cool. Next we have Warhammer 40K Darktide, which is kind of like space. This is like kind of like a horror Warhammer game. Is this the one?
Vermintide is their like that's like
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. Yeah. So it's
Oh,
like
okay.
a 4-player shooter co-op. Chaos cultists instead of Skaven. So in the Warhammer Fantasy version, you were fighting rat people, and in this one, you're fighting the Chaos cults, which are like the hell demons from what's that Liam Neeson movie? Not Liam Neeson. No. Not Liam Neeson. The other guy, the guy from Jurassic Park.
Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, you're thinking Event Horizon? Event Horizon.
Event Horizon. Yes, but now what is Sam Neill? God damn it.
Funny thing is, I knew you were talking about Sam Neill, but I was like, I'm just gonna throw Jeff Goldblum out there because it's gonna throw him off.
I thought you were confusing Lawrence Fishburne with Samuel L. Jackson for a second.
What?
Wait,
no.
what?
I said Jurassic Park. Oh yeah. Samuel L. Jackson's in Jurassic Park, isn't he?
Yeah.
He
just
totally
a bit.
is.
Come on. Okay. Whatever. Moving on.
All right, couple quick mentions. This is for summer 2022. I'll rattle these off first. River City Girls 2, DNF Duel. I don't know what that is. Dungeon Fighter Online is what it looks like. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song.
Wait, what's Little Devil Inside? You skipped that.
I'm skipping. I'm just rattling off the ones that I didn't highlight because these are the quick mentions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Clash, Artifacts of Chaos. Don't know what that is. But the two big ones here are Little Devil Inside. It says winter. I don't know if it's actually winter, if it's summer, if it's in the wrong spot, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have an actual date. But Little Devil Inside is super charming looking. We've got we got a bigger look at like the gameplay recently, and it has like cool like overworld adventure type where you're like riding trains between these towns on this like it looks like you're kind of traversing this like big giant like game board, but then when you get to a location it like takes you into the like you go into a place.
Yeah.
And it like looks super charming. I it's one of those things where I still have no idea what it's really about, but like it has such a cool visual style and like just charm to it that like I'm super excited for this. I wish I could describe it better. I'm clearly doing a bad job of this. Go watch the trailer for it.
He's charmed.
Little Devil Inside. Well, probably one of my more anticipated games of the year, to be honest. I think this has a lot of potential. And the next one is Steel Rising. This was actually announced, I think, at the Game Awards, or maybe we just got our first glimpse at it at the Game Awards. I don't know. But Steel Rising is from the developers of Greedfall, which I enjoyed quite a bit. But like, it's this weird like, how do you describe it? It says action RPG set during the clockpunk French Revolution.
I take issue with that.
If you
How
see
is
the trailer.
clockpunk any different than steampunk?
There's more clocks.
No, what? The steampunk has way too many clocks already. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
You can't just make up a new word. It's steampunk.
There's no steam, Crispy.
Shut up. What?
But you also play as like this like I can't remember if it's like a marionette like all the like everyone I don't know. It looks fucking weird and cool. It's probably going to be kind of jank. It's a Focus Home interactive game. Greedfall was jank, but it had a really cool atmosphere and a really cool world. So like that's what I'm here for, and I mean I'm totally into it.
Wikipedia says that clockpunk is a subgenre of steampunk.
Okay, it's steampunk. That like we're getting too fiddly.
This is actually not on the
it's like
list.
you're trying to tell me that steampunk doesn't already have clocks and clockwork and like gears everywhere, and that's like 90% of the steampunk aesthetic, despite the fact that there's also sometimes steam. Like it's the same thing. I will brook no further conversation on this matter. Red card. Next game.
Gorn. This is that weird H.R. Geiger phallic.
Red card. Move on.
You want to talk about?
Hold on. You had me at phallic.
H.R. Geiger.
That's rude.
It's an H.R. Geiger inspired first-person shooter, which
Weird.
you know, I'm not entirely sold on, but it could be cool. It's a first-person shooter horror game, and I like that. And I like H.R. Geiger, so you know.
Everything in the game is made out of flesh, and it's phallic everywhere. And it's just no.
What is the problem with that?
Hey, you're made out of flesh. Jeez, bud.
Yeah.
Calm down.
You shoot
he
flesh
hates
guns.
It's his least favorite part of himself, though. He hates his flesh. He rejects the flesh.
All right.
The flesh.
The next game on the list is a red card. It's a movie. It's the Mario movie. But I do want to mention it because they put "It's a me, Chris Pratt" in the in the cause for hype. So moving right along, Sonic Frontiers. Somehow I think I went to get coffee during this trailer when we were
this
watching
is
the
the
Game Awards.
open world Sonic game.
Yeah, and apparently people are losing their minds about it a little bit. But like I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't think I like Sonic. I just don't think I like Sonic gameplay. Like
I don't think anybody likes Sonic. I think people who like Sonic have tricked themselves into thinking they like Sonic.
Do you not like 2D Sonic, 3D Sonic, or both? Because they're two different things.
I tried so I played Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast, and I think I only played it because it was like the newest, best looking title on the Dreamcast at launch, and it had the cool whale thing, so everybody was like, "Oh, this is amazing," but it really wasn't that amazing. And then I played what was the collection they did a few years ago? Sonic. It was a Sonic Mania. I played Sonic Mania, thinking like, and everyone was like, "This is like the best Sonic thing ever released, or at least in a while." So I played that, thinking like it's 2D Sonic that I must love, right? Like maybe just 3D Sonic sucks. And then I played like 2 hours of Sonic Mania and was like, "Nah, I just don't like this. This is dull or frustrating or boring. I don't know."
Valid.
So I think I'm just done with Sonic. Moving right along.
Okay.
Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga. Very excited for this. Kind of wish what they showed at the Game Awards was.
Oh, stop it! Like, it was fine.
It was fine.
It looked great. It's just like I still don't.
Nick, I'm pretty sure that was all gameplay.
Yeah. It's that same kind of like the game is like half cutscene anyway, so whatever.
Right. Hellblade was fantastic. So I'm super into this. It's like dark, fucked up shit. It's right up my alley. I'm into it. And that's supposed to be coming holiday 2022. And the last game of this segment, Sea of Stars.
Yes.
This is that kickstarted like Chrono Trigger. It says Chrono Trigger inspired RPG, but it's also a prequel to The Messenger, which was
my game of the year that year.
Yeah.
Oh, The Messenger was dope.
Yeah, so this is it's a Chrono Trigger like RPG, but set in the same universe as The Messenger. And it was kickstarted, and it looks beautiful.
Oh yeah, the art style is fantastic, and the music's really good too.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eyes on this one. But man, yeah, it's gorgeous, and it makes me think maybe reading this makes me feel like, well, maybe I should first play Chrono Trigger because I still haven't done that.
Probably.
All right, we've done it. We've reached the end of the first segment. Woo! So when we get back, so obviously during the break we're gonna play Brad's latest update. When we get back, we're gonna just run down the list of all the games that don't have dates at all. We have no idea what the release window is. All we know is that it's coming soon, and there's a chance that they might come in 2022. So it's a long list as well. So we'll go through that when we get back. If you're watching us live, don't go anywhere. Enjoy Brad's update. We'll catch up with you on the other side.
Hello, and welcome to Brad's Weekly Update. Me and Griffin here. We're going to tell you about the games we're most excited about in 2022. You know, this is going to fit in right with the preview episode, so it makes sense that that's what we talk about this week. As far as any snacks, I don't really have any snacks this week. And as far as what I've been playing, nothing too interesting. All stuff I've started before. I've been playing a lot more Lost Judgment, which has been really fun. I got a hoverboard, and you know, it's probably the best combat that has ever been in a Yakuza game. Like, it finally feels really good to fight. Like, I want to fight guys. I'm not running from dudes. It's nice. I mean, sure, they still have issues with like balance and stuff, but the new like snake stance and stuff is really cool. I love throwing guys, grappling dudes at the end of my combos. It's been really fun, and the story's getting crazy. But anyways, we're here to talk about my most anticipated games of 2022. And let's see if I can get a good laugh out of this baby. I do this thing where, let me see. No? You in the mood? He just ate. See? He thinks that's kind of funny. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, I don't really have these ranked, but heck, let's rank them on the fly. Top 5 most anticipated of 2022. Trying to be a little less obvious, like Breath of the Wild 2, Elden Ring. We more or less know what those are. We know they're going to be great, so there's not much to say. My number 5 is Ghostwire Tokyo from Tango Gameworks. The Evil Within is a series I really like. I really like both those games, flaws and all, and I think it's just a really interesting studio, and they put out interesting games. And Ghostwire Tokyo is a game that when I saw the gameplay, I was like, well, I have not played a game that looks like this before, and that kind of was exciting to me. I think most people were hoping for a more traditional horror experience. Like, you probably hear Nick talk about that on the podcast. Like, oh, I just don't know about that gameplay. That first trailer where it was all spooky and serious. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I think it looks cool. I think this studio makes cool games, and it's going to be crazy, and it looks crazy, and it looks different, and that's what's exciting. Number 4 on my list is Triangle Strategy. Triangle Strategy. I can't believe that's the final title of the game. Pretty wild. This is from the Octopath Traveler guys, and while that's not a game I really enjoyed much at all. This looks like to be a spiritual successor of like Tactics Ogre, which is a game I love, and of course Final Fantasy Tactics. And I did play the demo of this, and I really, really liked the demo. I think there's a lot of potential there. I still have some pretty big concerns. I feel like I've talked about that. You could probably find me talking about this game somewhere, like the podcast, but where that after the demo came out, probably the podcast to look for. But I really like the demo. I think there's a lot of potential, and this is a genre that we don't get a lot of games in anymore, and it's one of my favorite genres, the strategy RPG. So I'm very excited about this game, and it has a pretty cool look because that studio does cool looking games, I guess. Number 3 on my list, I'm gonna go with Monster Hunter Sunbreak. This is the full expansion for Monster Hunter Rise, one of my favorite games of 2021, and this is the G rank expansion, which means things are going to get a lot harder. The in-game loop is going to get a lot more challenging and crazier, and there's probably going to be a lot more stuff to unlock and grind out, and a lot of new monsters, and probably some pretty crazy hard monsters. That one of the things I was missing from Monster Hunter Rise was the challenge, and the G rank expansion for a Monster Hunter game is definitely going to bring the challenge. If Monster Hunter Rise has been doing some events lately where they soup up some of the Apex monsters, like a souped up version of Apex Rathian or like Apex Mizutsune, and those hit really, really hard, and while the rewards aren't there, the challenge of what you expect from Monster Hunter, especially, the G-Rank expansion, is kind of in the challenge of those fights. The expansion is just going to bring all the exciting rewards. So Sunbreak, I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about the Western, mythology of, vampires and werewolves and stuff is sort of going to be the theme surrounding this one. So that's cool. Number 2, most excited about is Starfield. I know this might be controversial because everyone sort of hates Bethesda these days, but Morrowind is still one of my very favorite RPGs of all time, and I'm always going to give Bethesda the benefit of the doubt. I think people point to Fallout 76. That wasn't actually Bethesda Game Studios, right? That made that game. That was some other studio that they that handled that, and it was designed to be like this weird spin-off thing. So, while that sucks, I'm not really going to blame Bethesda. But then people point to Fallout 4 and say, well, we didn't really like Fallout 4, but really, ultimately, I think maybe it's just because Fallout's lame. I sort of come to realize that over the years that I just don't love Fallout like a lot of other people, and maybe that's why Fallout 4 sucked. Other people are sort of realizing that now too. But you know what's cool? Elder Scrolls, and I love Morrowind. Oblivion's cool. Skyrim I think is even better than Oblivion, and Starfield is a chance for them to prove themselves again, and I think they could do it. I think they're gonna, try their damnedest, right? Because this is a new IP for them, and that's a big deal because they haven't made like a real new IP in a very, very, very long time. So we'll see. It's exciting. And my number one most anticipated game. There's a lot of games that like, is it really going to hit next year? Like Metroid Prime 4. I have no hope that that's going to hit next year. That's why it's not on my list. But I feel like we're actually going to see Final Fantasy XVI next year. I'm pretty confident. I heard somewhere that they plan to. That Square Enix had said that when they fully reveal the game and show off the game, it's gonna come out pretty soon after that, and they're supposed to be doing a big reveal in the spring. So I'm expecting that we are going to get Final Fantasy 16 this year, and that's very exciting for me because Final Fantasy used to be one of my very, very favorite franchises. My most video game nostalgia in the world is tied up in the Final Fantasy series, but it's been a very long time since I cared about Final Fantasy, and I think it's because it's all like stupid stuff, right? Like driving cars in the deserts with your boys, and this is traditional fantasy, dark fantasy, Yasumi Matsuno looking Final Fantasy, right? Fucking knights in armor, and then political intrigue. Final Fantasy Tactics is my favorite game of all time. You know that. This kind of resembles that, so I'm excited in terms of like tone and world, and it's being worked on by the Final Fantasy 14 people, right? I've come to realize that I hate MMOs, but you know what I do like is RPGs. So if those people are spending their talents into a traditional RPG, then I'm here for it, and that's why it's the game I'm most excited about, minus dozens of others that I'm sure these other guys are going to talk about on the podcast. So let's, I guess, let them get back to it, and that's going to be it for me. Y'all have a good week. Say goodbye to Griffin. Oh, look at his onesie. He's got some nerd stuff on it that y'all would like, right? I guess. Let's see if we can get one more good laugh out of him. It's getting late. He might be a little tired. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good week. Bye. Oh, wait. Where's the little remote? Okay. Bye.
Beautiful. Welcome back to the podcast, Nolan. It is time we're gonna run down we're gonna do one more list. This list is comprised of games that have no release window or date, but could theoretically drop in 2022. So this is the segment where you're gonna hear a lot of, do you think this is coming this year or not? So that's kind of the name of the game here. Again, I've highlighted games that I think we're all particularly interested in, so I'll kind of breeze past the ones that maybe we're not, but I'll mention them. So if you are interested in one, just call out. Like the first game on this list is called 30XX. I have no idea what this is. Is this like the sequel to BMXX or?
It's the sequel to 20XX.
20XX was that like? Yeah.
It was a Mega Man roguelike.
Oh, so this is not.
We saw that game a long time ago at PAX South. 20XX.
Damn. Yeah, yeah, pour one out for PAX South. They canceled it forever. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
I played 20XX. It was okay. I could have sworn 30XX was already out.
It says to be determined 2022, so apparently not. The next game, though, I think we are interested in, A Plague Tale Requiem.
Yes.
This is one of those games, like, it looks like it's pretty far along, but at the same time, the first one came out relatively close, not too long ago. So
it wasn't that long, but it was pretty good for what it is, and this one, from what we've seen so far, looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's just this trailer, and again, this is just kind of speculating off of what the trailer looks like. The trailer made it seem maybe like it was a bit more open, or at least bigger in scope. So I don't know. I mean, Focus Home can really crank out. Focus Home Interactive tends to really crank out games. So maybe maybe they've already reached the finish line on this one. So who knows? I don't know where I land on that one, but I am excited for it. A Plague Tale was really cool and surprisingly touching, and like good characters, good story. So I'm into it. And rats, lots of rats,
lots of rats.
The next game I don't think we're going to see in 2022, but it's interesting nonetheless. They're making a game based on A Quiet Place, which I don't know what to think. We don't really know much about this as far as what kind of gameplay it is, but it's going to be developed by Saber Interactive, the same guys that did Time Shift, World War Z, and Inversion. Not necessarily the greatest track record, but A Quiet Place is one of those properties that has like good video gamey like twists kind of built into the concept, right? Like having to be quiet to avoid confrontation with the monsters and stuff like that. Like could be really neat. I want to see more of it. I'm hoping this is not just some kind of like, I could also easily see it being like a Telltale-esque type game where it's just, point and click adventure type thing, but they don't really make those kinds of games. Yeah, I'm hoping this is actually like you have to like be very careful with how you move through the environment so as not to attract the monsters. Like that could be really cool. I kind of wish it was being made by someone with a better track record, but I'm still eager to see what it is. Abandoned. Who put this on this list? This isn't a game. This isn't a real game. So I'm just gonna move right on past it. Arc Raiders.
Yes.
Oh, wait, this is that one they showed at the Game Awards, right?
Yeah. This is X Dice guys doing a sci-fi kind of EDF thing.
Yeah. This actually did look pretty cool. Especially like just in terms of like being like a cool sci-fi universe and vibe to it. Like it looks really cool. Not sure yet like what to expect in terms of like from the gameplay and whatnot. It looks like it's primarily like what co-op or.
That's what it seems like from the trailer.
It's 3-player co-op.
Yeah, but it nonetheless looks cool. Has some cool vibes to it. Check it out. Next we have Arc 2, starring Vin Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
Why was this highlighted?
I don't know. Maybe I meant to highlight Arc Raiders.
Yeah.
Accidentally highlighted.
I know Vin Diesel was like in the trailer for it. He's like actually in the game.
Yes, he's in the game.
Yeah.
Why would they put him in the trailer, not in the game?
What else is he doing?
They do that. They do that for fucking cell phone games all the time. There's like Arnold Schwarzenegger does one. I don't know.
True. I mean, it's a weird like Arc kind of took off, right? I still have never played it, despite the fact that it's open world with dinosaurs. I feel like I should try it at some point. But
yeah, but it's like a multiplayer game.
It kind of took off, right? It's become kind of like this own phenomenon.
Oh, it had a following.
It leads to a lot of exciting moments in it, and so it's one of those things where it could be either very boring or with the right like people playing it. Yes, it could be exciting. No. I've seen a lot of stuff, but I've never played it myself.
I played like very rarely, maybe like an hour of it, but I don't know if that mechanic is still in there. But close to launch, there was a mechanic to where your character poops, and you can eat the poop, and if you eat the poop, you die.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's a mechanic. You're calling that a mechanic.
That was a mechanic.
Which isn't realistic at all. You just get really sick.
Yeah, I've seen Bear Grylls do it.
Yeah.
Ew.
Well, it was a
solution. Get all those nutrients.
Early on in the game, I don't know if it's still the case. Because it's like an open world, massive multiplayer thing, right? So there's other people in the world, and other people would capture people, put them in cages, and so those players couldn't do anything. So to get out of it, a strategy was to take your poop and eat it and die, so you could respawn.
Interesting.
Wow. Wow. Here we are.
Yep.
Video games.
This is the world we live in now. Okay. Next up, we have Atomic Heart. I'm actually pretty excited for this. It's from Mundfish. This is like the Bioshock-esque looking game, kind of set in like Soviet Russia, and it looks like it's a period piece. Weird robots running around. I don't know. It also reminds me of the game that I played this past year. What was that game called? Somebody help me. There's like it was like a 4 or 5 hour kind of atmosphere.
With robots in like Germany or something like that.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was a cool little experience. But this looks like that on a much bigger scale. Somebody in chat must know what I'm talking about. Why am I forgetting this?
I think it started with like an E.
I'll figure it out in a second. But Industria. Thank you. I don't know how you led me there, but you did. So thank you. Industria. This reminds me of Industria, but on a bigger scale with a bigger budget. So looks pretty cool. Not sure if this is one of those games too. Like I'm not sure if it's coming out this year because it's been in development for quite a while, and I feel like
I'd be surprised if it did. And if it did come out this year, my guess would be very, very late in the year.
Yeah, they have been amping. They've been talking about it more and more as time goes on.
What is it
So
again?
that's a promising sign. No, Atomic Heart. We're still talking about
Okay, sorry.
Atomic Heart. But the next game on the list is Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. This was the Avatar game they announced. They closed with at their E3 conference this year. Ubisoft did.
Which was announced years ago. Like I think it was announced around 2017.
You know what else was announced years ago, Chris Davis? The next Avatar movie.
You know what? And you know what? Yeah. We're starting to see bits and pieces of that movie come out now. But Avatar is such a weird thing because I have like almost zero interest in seeing those movies, those sequels that they're working on now, every once in a while I think about Avatar and I'm like, maybe I should watch that again. And I remember
no.
Nick's got the sickness.
I got the sickness.
He's got the blues.
He's like, but it made $1 billion. No,
I don't give a shit about that. I don't give a shit about that. But I do remember seeing that first movie and being like, I don't understand how this is like the most popular movie in the world, but I enjoy it. Like I'm enjoying this movie. This is cool. But like the only thing that bothered me about it was that like, why is this the most insanely successful movie of all time? Like it made no sense to me on that regard. But like
me either. No.
But on its own, if you take that out of the equation, I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm into it. I'm enjoying it. And the fact that they closed with this at E3 makes me think that like they're putting a lot of effort into it. Like as far like they're not just giving it to some small studio and saying, here, make us an Avatar game. It definitely seems like they're trying to put
this is massive entertainment using their Snowdrop engine. So it's going to be very pretty and it's going to have great weather effects. But
we don't know anything about gameplay, so
yeah.
I would imagine open world.
I feel like open world first person, and that's it. That's all we know.
Yeah. So you know what? Count me in. I'm kind of excited for this, but I don't really know why. So anyways, next, and by the way, I'm going alphabetical now because obviously none of these have release windows, so now we're just going alphabetical. Bayonetta 3. I rewatched that trailer today.
Is that coming out this year?
Supposed to.
I would say yeah.
I'm gonna go with late 2022. I feel like this is gonna be like a October, November release, maybe.
It'll be cool.
It could be cool, but at the same time, I watched that trailer and I still can't get over how kind of drab it looks. I remember Bayonetta 2 being this like bright, colorful, whimsical game, and you watch the trailer for Bayonetta 3, and it's like gray concrete jungle, like city backdrop.
Yeah, but they only showed like one action sequence, right? Against one boss, so.
But then you drop Bayonetta in the middle of this, and she stands out like a sore thumb. It's so, and not necessarily in a good way.
But it's supposed to. It's that contrast. That's what they were going for with that trailer, was to trick you into thinking, yeah, that this is not Bayonetta 3. Oh shit, it is Bayonetta 3.
So I'm hoping that's all it was. I'm hoping that was just a side effect of them trying to throw us off the scent.
Yeah.
And that the actual game is more.
Nick, I don't know if you're just like, you know what I mean? If either you're misremembering the game or I am, but I don't remember it being that colorful. Like you were still in like cities and stuff, and to my Bayonetta 2, I'm referring to. I still feel like there was lots of like, don't get me wrong, yes, there were some light areas, but I think there was a lot of that game that you were in drab, kind of dark, dank environment. And so just because we've seen a little bit of that in this one doesn't mean the whole game's going to be like that.
Those environments in Bayonetta 2 were also very like fantastical at the same time. Like they may have been.
There was a lot of you're just in like cities, in between buildings, like in sewers. Like there was a lot of not fantastical stuff.
You're gonna make me Google image Bayonetta 2 because now I'm like doubting myself. But anyways, we can move on to the next game. It's Bayonetta, man. I'm excited for gameplay. Bayonetta's fantastic, and you know she's got a new haircut, and I don't know. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So you know, I'm not too worried about it. Next game is Beyond Good and Evil 2. guys, if that game is not officially canceled this year, I will be shocked.
I mean, we have no idea what the fuck it is anyway at this point.
I don't think anybody knows what the fuck
I don't even know what it is, Chris Davis.
At this point, I don't even think. I'm going to be honest. I don't even think it's. If I had to bet money on it, I don't think it's an active development anymore, and they're just kind of waiting to like until people like kind of forget about it, and then they're going to quietly say that it's on the back burner when it's really just been canceled. I don't know. Either that, or they're going to give it to someone else, and next time we see it, it's going to look totally different and just be more of a straight up like cut and dry sequel to Beyond Good and Evil, which is what it probably should have been from the get go.
Probably should have been, but I think that's very
Beyond Good and Evil. Beyond Good and Evil 2 should be what Psychonauts 2 was, which was just a direct sequel and general improvement on the concepts and execution of the original game. Like that's all it needed to be. I don't know why we got Space Monkeys and co-developing games with the community. I don't know. Anyways, BioShock reboot. Well, the fact that this doesn't have a title yet, and we haven't seen an actual announcement of this yet, makes me think this is not.
No, Nick, there's a title. It's BioShooketh.
BioShooketh. I'd play that.
Well, I mean, is this supposed to, are they talking about a reboot, or are they talking about BioShock 4? Or is this both?
I mean, I think those two things are interchangeable at this point because nobody really knows what they're calling it. And the fact that it's been so long since BioShock Infinite I think makes people think that whatever they release now would just be a way of rebooting the franchise. Because that's what a reboot is. It's making something that's old new and exciting again.
Yeah, the only consistent thing going on with rumors is that it's a city set in the Arctic.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention. Which, sounds neat. Would love to see more of that. I think we'll finally get the announcement of it this year. And unless it's an announcement that says, hey, it'll be out like this winter, I don't think we'll see it this year, but I do think it's coming soon. All right, we got a few quick mentions that I don't think any of us here are particularly into, but I'll just mention them. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Don't know what that is.
That's the Jet Set Radio spiritual successor.
Oh, that actually could be cool.
I wasn't insanely impressed by the trailer. It looked, honestly, I would say just honestly not fast-paced enough for me. Is my 2 cents.
That could be a bummer. Yeah, this definitely... I'm looking at this again. This definitely looks very Jet Set Radio, like straight up.
For sure.
But I don't know. Maybe keep an eye on that. We got Card Shark, Company of Heroes 3.
Hold on. You got to wait a second after saying the title, Nick, just in case.
Let it breathe.
Okay.
Card Shark is interesting to me because the whole concept is not, playing cards. It's about trying to cheat at playing cards and not get caught. And that's an interesting concept to me. Cool. I'm kind of curious. The trailer that's out there is not super expansive, but it's an interesting art style, and I'm kind of curious to see more. But yeah, it's just like all of these card tricks you've seen in the past of you have some reflective thing on the table, so as you're dealing the card, you can see the reflection of the card as you deal it out, so you know what it is, or putting a little dot on the card so you can read it from the back, kind of stuff like that, and trying not to get caught. I think it looks pretty interesting.
That's cool. Yeah. All right. I'll let these breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Company of Heroes 3.
Well, no one cares about that.
I used to be a big Company of Heroes fan, but like when they tried to do like MOBA style, like no base building in 2, and like just mechanics that weren't really fun to play. Good ideas, but not really fun to play. I really bounced off it.
I will say this is the description on the Cause for Hype column. It says Mediterranean campaign, now with vertical maps, base building is back, and Total War style campaign. I don't know what much of that means, to be honest, but maybe it says something to you, Chris Davis?
I mean, we'll see. I want to see what this base building is and to what extent it is, because they said base building was back in Dawn of War 2, and yeah.
Gotcha. We got Convergence, a League of Legends story. Action platform starring Echo.
Literally know nothing about this.
Have I let it breathe enough?
Yeah, that's enough breathing.
Crayon Shin-Chan.
Oh, like Shin-Chan the anime?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I haven't seen this game, but Shin-Chan's great, so
it
I'm
looks
interested.
fucking gorgeous from this
I'm watching the trailer now. Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
This
looks like
is,
110% the show, but like
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
but you
know
also
what
think
this
about
is.
this fact that this is a Switch exclusive, so you're like, wait a minute. What's
Man,
the
half
catch?
these Switch games, I just want to see playing on the OLED because they're gonna look beautiful. All right,
Cult of the
Dead-
Lamb.
here we go. Dead Space remake. What do you think? What do you think? You think this year?
I think this is probably a January 2023 thing.
I think that might be a safe bet. I feel like we'll learn a lot more about it this year, but we won't actually play it. Yeah,
You skipped
Go
one.
ahead. I did.
He did.
Oh, it's Cult of the
Cult
Lamb.
of the Lamb.
Oh, which
you.
looks
I did.
Which actually
fucking
looks really
good.
delightful.
Yeah.
Roguelike
roguelike.
action plus farming and cult building game.
You're
Oh,
like
I
a
get it. This
little
looks cool.
lamb.
Yeah. I forgot about this. I have watched the trailer for this. This looks really cool, actually. I didn't highlight it immediately because I didn't remember what it was exactly. But yeah, this totally looks dope.
The visuals looked really cool.
Yeah,
At first, I thought this was a drink box game.
Yeah, or that it was heavily inspired by Ed McMillan, the guy behind
Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this looks really cool. I will go ahead and highlight that because yeah, it looks dope. That's called Cult of the Lamb. If you're not sure, check out the trailer for that. It's really charming and dark and fucked up looking, but in a really cute way. All right, again, Dead Space remake. What do we think? This year? Not this year?
I don't think it's this year.
I think it's a safe bet, but
I
do think
we
we get our first really good look at it. But you know what? I am still very excited to see what this is because it was not what I when we finally went back to Dead Space, I wasn't sure. I just kind of assumed it would be a sequel, but they're doing a remake, but it's kind of like what kind of remake? Like how true to the original game is this, or if this is a blending or merging of the elements of Dead Space 2 and 3 back into one? Are they going more open? Like what is this? Like I'm wondering if this is going to be kind of like taking the creative liberties the way they did with like Resident Evil 2, which could be cool.
I mean, I think Dead Space 1 in and of itself is still fairly fresh in its design. I don't think it really needs to take much inspiration from Resident Evil 2 remake.
I mean, I'm not saying specifically take inspiration from Resident Evil 2 remake, other than to say I don't really want this to be a exact one-to-one remake. That almost feels like a wasted potential. Like,
I mean, they've already said that it's not that. They're retaining the base design.
I know, but that's where the comparison to Resident Evil 2 is coming into play for me, because that's kind of what they did with Resident Evil 2. Like, they took the layout of the police station in Resident Evil 2 and they expanded upon it. They did new and creative things with it. They mixed stuff up, but it still felt very familiar. I want them to take that kind of approach with Dead Space, because just making it feel too much like Dead Space 1 is a wasted opportunity, because Dead Space 1 still looks and plays great. I want this to I don't want this to feel pointless when it's all said and done, especially if we want this to be like the thing that reinvigorates Dead Space as a franchise. So
yeah. This is really going to be like EA Motive's like make or break moment.
Yeah, definitely could be. Digimon Survive. It says Digimon SRPG. No?
A Digimon strategy RPG?
That's what it seems like.
Could be cool. Could be cool.
Could be cool. Dragon Age 4. I rewatched the trailer for this today too. I still haven't played Dragon Age Inquisition, so
I'm still.
I haven't played
That's
a Dragon Age.
What? You haven't played Dragon Age Inquisition?
No.
That might be.
Chris Davis.
I mean, it was cool at the time, but that might be rough going back. I don't know.
That's one of those games when Robin takes a break from playing Mass Effect, she plays Dragon Age, and she played like 100 hours of Dragon Age Inquisition. So that's like the most I've seen. Oh, she loves BioWare. It's like, so I've seen a lot of Inquisition just watching her, and it looks, I just haven't been in the mood for it, I suppose.
I'm still all shaken up by that tweet yesterday that was going around where the guy was like, Thetis, the name of the setting for Dragon Age, is just an acronym for the Dragon Age setting.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Really?
It's fucking stupid. Love it.
That
Yeah.
that's pretty
It's
dumb.
THEDAS. The Dragon Age setting.
That's pretty dumb. I'm gonna be honest. That's dumb.
Interesting.
All
I
right,
love it.
Dragon Ball: The Breakers. I don't
This
know.
looks cool. This looks cool as shit. This is the one where you're like a normal civilian and you're like trying to survive like Cell
Yeah.
destroying the world. This looks fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
No,
Cell's
yeah.
attacking the city and absorbing all the people, and you have to not
it's
get.
it's
Well-
cool. And there's like all these different things you can do. I think you can even like I think you can
This says it's
summon
an online multiplayer game. Like
Yes, it's like a 6-player multiplayer game. Like someone plays Cell, and then everybody else plays like civilians, and
Well,
Cell is trying to go around and absorb everybody.
Well, no, it's more than
Oh!
that. It's more than that. It's also Frieza and other Dragon Ball Z villains going back in time to the Dragon Ball era and hunting down and killing the heroes of the Dragon Ball era.
Well, okay, as far as the
Oh.
stories or whatever, I'm talking about the gameplay. The gameplay is basically just like
Dead by
like
Daylight, in my
Evolve
opinion.
or something. Like yeah,
Mhm.
Evolve or Dead by Daylight. But
Yeah.
there's all these different like the civilians are trying to like use the time machine, like Trunks' time machine comes into play
Mhm.
as a mechanic. Like it's really cool. I don't know. It
Dude,
looks
this
awesome.
looks kind of dope. I
Yeah.
like I this was
Yeah,
I don't know how this got past me, but like this is the first time hearing about this. This looks
yeah. It
kinda
looks
cool.
so weird and awesome.
It's an inspired idea for a franchise that has been all about fucking fighting games.
Yeah,
It's true.
for sure, for sure.
I,
All right,
I think some of the abilities, like in the trailer you see Oolong transforming into different things and Cell absorbing people. I think it has the potential to be a lot of fun, provided it's executed well.
yeah.
Balance is going to be a real issue.
So I think we can all say could be cool.
Could be cool.
Could be cool.
I think it might be. I think it might be cool. I think
it
is
might be
probably cool. Is probably cool.
All right, Dune Spice Wars. This is that RTS that was announced at the Game Awards.
Yeah,
last
this
month.
is cool because the like classic Dune games on PC in the early 90s are like very beloved. Are like
Yeah.
really it's supposed to be really good like strategy games.
I mean, it was the inspiration for the real-time strategy genre.
yeah.
The original
Oh,
Dune
is that what it is? Yeah.
Look,
We wouldn't
I
have
mean,
Command and
timing
Conquer
couldn't be
if
better.
we did not have Dune.
Yeah.
Man.
Beloved games.
Well, that's
So-
cool, and the timing works out because Dune is
Hey,
hot.
Dune's pretty cool, man. Dune is pretty cool.
I didn't highlight the next one, but I think I probably should have. Earth Defense Force 6.
I
No?
mean, it's
I'm
mindless fun.
excited. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how to say this one, but we're all
Ayuden.
pretty excited. Ayuden Chronicle Rising. This is
I don't think Rising is that subtitle, isn't it? 100 Heroes.
yeah. Here,
No,
what am-
there's 2 games, and this is
Oh,
a newly
You're right.
announced
I'm
prequel
sorry,
game.
Chris Davis. Yeah. You're right. I do remember that now. That yes, this is the other one that they're doing besides Ayuden Chronicles 100 Heroes. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is the YouTube link that they put in the doc actually takes you to a trailer for Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, which is the like RPG, the Suikoden RPG that
Mhm.
we've backed on Kickstarter and everything. I think all of us backed it here,
Mhm.
maybe.
I
For
think
what?
I did? I don't remember.
The
Backed
Ayuden
what?
Chronicle,
Ayuden Chronicles.
Ayuden Chronicle, the Suikoden spiritual successor.
Oh, I
Didn't Brad like make a deal like he was
We
like
talked about this. I backed it for 2 people for a discount, and one was for you. We've talked about this before.
Me?
Crispy.
Me?
Yes.
I do not remember this at all. I don't even remember this game being
We've had
announced.
this conversation multiple times on a different podcast about you forgetting that I backed.
Yeah,
I'm
I
changing
don't
the
know.
name
This
here. It's
is-
100 Heroes.
Well, obviously, it never got in my brain.
Click the link, Crispy.
Well,
Watch the trailer.
please don't buy
Oh,
it.
it does look cool.
Uh,
I might buy this. This looks cool.
We got Endless Dungeon is next. It says roguelite action. I don't know what this is, to be totally honest, but
Oh.
I don't know
this
if I'm
came up.
familiar with this one either.
Yeah.
I feel like this came up somewhere recently, but I don't know. I'm going to skip over it because we don't know much about it. But Evil Dead, the video game, this is like one of those asymmetrical multiplayer,
Oh,
in the
yeah,
same
Mhm.
vein
yeah.
as Dead
Dead
by
by
Daylight,
Daylight. Yeah.
Yeah.
which is also something that's become incredibly popular. So
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
sure will be popular as well. Um, Here we go. Now I can say it. Dark Watch. Evil
Hey.
West.
Oh, he's been waiting for it.
This is
He's
like
been so
Dark Watch.
patient.
Yeah, but cranked up to 11. It looks really cool. My only concern, I was watching the trailer for it again today, is that like it like kind of ramped up. It looks like a western in that like they're wearing cowboy hats and ponchos and stuff, but like there's so much going on around them in the environment, and there's so much focus on like the combat and stuff that I almost feel like, at least in the trailer, it looks like they're not playing up like the western setting enough. It almost feels like like it's Doom or something, but like they're supposed to be playing obviously like the western vibe to it, and it kind of seems to lack a little bit of that, but it still looks neat, and it looks like a fun character. It looks like real chunky movement, and like it reminds me of kind of like Gears of War in terms of the way the characters move and how everyone's like super has a lot of weight to them, and like combat has a lot of punch to it. It looks fun, and if you did play Dark Watch, this might be something to keep your eye on because it's like over the top horror action set in the Wild West against demons.
Yep.
Final Fantasy XVI. Here's a big one. Do we think Final Fantasy 16 is coming this year?
Maybe.
When they announced this game, it was a lot. The trailer was a lot more involved than we were expecting. It was like a 4-minute long cinematic, and with like brief glimpses of gameplay.
I don't
but
think
like,
I don't think it's this year.
but they've been talking about it a lot lately and saying that like they are entering like the final stages of production. Like they're putting the finishing touches on cutscenes. They've pretty much wrapped up a lot of the voice acting. Like they can play through the game from start to finish already, which I don't feel like we hear
Note
about that.
that while obviously they didn't probably, I don't know, start working on it immediately afterwards. Final Fantasy 15 came out in 2016.
Yeah,
It's been a hot minute since that game came out.
I think we forget because everyone's because 14 has been so popular. You know, I have a feeling because they did just recently make the announcement that COVID has obviously forced them to kind of push their development schedule back like 6 months, but like so they delayed making. They were going to make an announcement or make a reveal, I think, near the end of 2021, but they had to push it back, and they said there's going to be a big announcement in like spring. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a big reveal, a big announcement in spring, and it's going to be like coming in like 4 or 5 months or something. Like,
I would assume holiday 2022 is my assumption.
I feel like that's a safe bet too. I think we might be playing Final Fantasy 16 next Christmas. Next, another big one, God of War Ragnarok.
Pretty hyped for this one. Oh yeah,
this looks pretty.
It's
this looks pretty amazing.
Hype,
yeah. Well, no, it's not just Universal Hype, but I'm pretty sure it's also coming out this year for sure.
Yeah.
Like I watched that trailer again today, and I was like, this does look pretty. Like they're showing a lot. It feels like this does not have that feeling of like it's been in the oven. It's only been in the oven for a year. This feels like it's like they've been working on it since even before the original one launched. So yeah, I think this is a pretty safe bet. I think this is also probably a October, November release.
I mean, word is that they're retaining a lot of the same world structure, so a lot of the environments are going to be basically the same geometry.
But you're going like they're going to probably use the same hub world with the the wagon wheel design, but you're going to different. What do you call
Correct. The different branches of the world tree or whatever. The different paths that you didn't get to go on in the last game.
Which is smart. It's a great way to like a lot of the work that like, there's a big chunk of the work that's kind of already been done to some extent, right?
Yeah.
So that probably saved them some time.
This is probably launching this fall.
And you know what I really like about this game, about this project in general, is that they've said that they're doing this as a 2-part series. So it's kind of like they're setting expectations, and I feel like you don't see a lot of that. Usually it's like this is going to be an epic trilogy, but it's like they're like, no, we have kind of a plan, we have an arch, and it's 2 games, and like that's it's nice. I feel like it's nice going into it knowing this is not the middle chapter. This is a concluding chapter to the story, and that's kind of nice to know going into it.
For sure.
Goodbye, Volcano High. We've talked about this.
This
a
is
few
the
times.
Scaly game.
Yeah, it's all the lizard kids.
Yeah,
Scalies.
the lizard kids in high
Dino
school.
kids. Yeah.
Looks charming.
I mean, it's going to be a story-driven game. Could be good. It all depends on the story.
I think this is probably a safe bet for this year. We've been hearing about this for a while, and it's an indie game. So,
Okay.
Gotham Knights.
What's this? Never heard of it.
You know what this is. I'm pretty excited for this.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, solo play or co-op. But I'm pretty sold on the different heroes. Like, I'm pretty excited about the process, especially if
I mean, come on, right? Like a Bat Family game without Batman. That's awesome. I'm here for it.
It is cool. It is
Robin
cool.
and Nightwing and Batgirl and Red Hood. Okay, yeah, let's do it. And if it's like Arkham fucking co-op, that's a cool.
And
cool
RPG
setup.
elements, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like you're
I think so.
leveling up your characters, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
It says to play as the three character, or play as solo, 2-player, or 3-player co-op to level up your characters. Is what
Could
it
be
says.
cool.
So yeah,
Could
I'm
be
into
cool.
it. We got Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. It's a Grand Blue RPG formerly developed by Platinum Games. This is one of those RPGs that we talked about a few, actually earlier in the year, last year. It's like, it looks beautiful.
Looks really good, but I mean,
it was at one point co-developed by Platinum Games. I think they were specifically helping them with the combat. And I think their work is done with that, so it's no longer technically developed by Platinum, co-developed. But I know Brad had this one on his radar. Looked pretty cool. Haunted Space. I don't know.
I don't know
that
that
is.
one.
That's an interesting name for a developer, though.
What is it?
Italian Games Factory. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, it's a games factory based in Italy. There is a trailer, it looks like, so maybe we should check that out.
Looks kind of cool.
The next game on here.
Yeah.
Next game on here, I'm gonna be honest, is pretty high up there for me in terms of anticipation. That's Hogwarts Legacy.
That's gotta come this year. That's gotta arrive this year.
It'll be cool.
No,
It
yeah,
probably will, yeah.
I'm sure. You know, it just there's some baggage that comes with this one, unfortunately.
Baggage is an understatement.
Yes.
Oh
but-
boy.
Yeah.
Could be
But
cool.
It
could
could
be.
be cool. It could be cool. I mean, it's one of those things. I have high hopes for it. The studio behind it doesn't have necessarily the the pedigree that I would hope for going into a project like this, because I feel like
I thought this was like a new studio. Wasn't it this
it's a
Games or
new-ish-
something?
It's a new-ish studio that I think has mostly done like mobile games before.
No, they did Disney Infinity.
Oh. Well, that was very
Was it-
successful. I don't know anything about it, but it was very
What is
successful.
Portkey Games then? Wasn't that? Was it a
That sounds
studio
familiar.
that used to be one thing and then they just changed the name?
I think Portkey.
I thought
is
there
developing
was
the
like a
mobile
whole. Oh, okay. I thought there was one studio for Warner Brothers that was just doing all Harry Potter stuff, and that was Portkey.
I thought
It's
I
all
thought
conf-
Portkey
it's
was
all
supposed to be like
confusing.
a sub publisher dedicated to Harry Potter content.
I got
Yeah, it seems like it.
I
Yeah.
got you. Okay.
Okay. Next game.
How about a
on
game
here.
that doesn't have any baggage, Nick?
No, a
Except
game
for the
that
fact that it doesn't exist.
that you would be wrong not to love.
Yes, you would be wrong not to love Hollow Knight Silksong. Like we don't even need to play it. You know what I mean? Like
We love it.
like
It's like it's like Darkest Dungeon 2 or something. We just
It's
know
like
it's
it's already
gonna
game
be-
of the year for 2022.
Yeah.
it doesn't even need to come out, really.
We
Like
love it. Yeah, don't even play it and sully the experience. Just
Yeah.
Just know that it's amazing.
I'm into it. But real talk, do we think this is coming this year?
Yes.
I feel
Probably, yeah.
like it has to. All right. Let's see. Immortality. It says horror game by Sam. Oh, this is
this
that
is
horror
the
game by
fucking.
Sam
Oh
Barlow.
my god! Yeah, remember when they first put this up on Steam and it didn't even have a title and it was just all
Right.
weird cryptic shit? This looks cool.
This
I'm
does look
yeah.
excited.
Yeah, all like the font was all messed up and stuff on the Steam
Yeah,
page.
yeah. And
Very
instead of
excited for
yeah.
from Sam Barlow,
Oh,
the story and
Telling Lies.
was it Telling Lies? Yeah, there you go,
Yeah.
dude. Very
Yeah.
excited for this one.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
this could be really, really cool. I don't know if it's coming this year, but I feel like that doesn't seem
could be.
unrealistic. So
Good day.
I think these types of games are like the best kind of like couch co-op games, in the sense that you can play it with other people in the room and they don't have to have their hands on the sticks to feel like they're still a part of it. And that's one of the things I really like about these games, is everyone can get invested because it is so much about the story and the what's unfolding and the secrets you find out and stuff that kind of just kind of hook you in.
It's
Yeah,
all in the
for sure.
abstract.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Knights of the Old Republic remake. I
I
don't
do
think
not
that's this
think
year.
that's
No
coming out
way.
this year. No.
Not this
Yeah.
year.
And if it
Sure.
does, I don't want to play it.
But I do think we'll probably get a glimpse of it this year, maybe. Layers of Fear 3. I didn't play Layers of Fear 2. Played the first one. Thought it was pretty cool.
I didn't
But
know
this
this
is being made. This is being built in Unreal Engine 5, and that's a pretty impressive engine. And Layers of Fear, in and of itself, is creepy. So if the engine can like elevate the experience and make it like super realistic, I can see this being a really cool experience. The trailer doesn't really tell you much, but it could be cool. It could be cool. Here we go. It could be cool. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Yes.
Pretty hyped for this one.
I love
So
rabbits.
ready. Oh man, like God, who would have thought, man? Who would have thought this game is so damn good? But it is. So look, I think that'll be.
Well, the original one was good, and hopefully this one follows suit and is also good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do y'all think it's coming this year? Because we get
Probably.
this the same year we get Breath of the Wild 2?
I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going
Do
to
you
come out
think-
in the summer, and I think this is going to come out in the fall.
You think we get Breath of the Wild 2 this year?
I don't know. We'll
I
answer
think
that
so.
question when we get farther down the list. Marvel's Midnight Suns. This is that SRPG with cards, Marvel-based SRPG with cards.
Yeah, no,
It's,
that's definitely going to come this year.
Marvel.
It's from Firaxis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the magic Marvel, the Midnight Suns.
This is the
This
game
is
we
cool.
were disappointed to learn was not XCOM 3. Even though it's Marvel's XCOM.
Right.
But
I'm kind of excited.
Cool.
I think it could be really cool.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know about. Yeah, I think it could be cool. I don't know about this whole like they just made up an original character for the game, which is like okay, I don't know. Seems
But
kind
they
of
make
generic.
up for it, Crispy.
Whatever. I don't know. It's like she has like fire powers or something, right?
I'm not really up to speed on it, so I'm not
It's
familiar.
whoever the main character is
Yeah,
made up.
it's a custom character.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Crispy, hold on, Crispy. They're all made up. You know that,
shut
right?
up. No, Nolan, shut up.
Oh man! All right, Mass Effect sequel. That's not happening this year.
No.
Oh, you skipped Metal Slug. Oh wait, never mind. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I did not. That's not how the alphabet works.
No.
But I don't know. This is on the list, but I think there's like about a 0% chance this is coming out this year. But I think we'll see it. I think on N7 Day in 2022 we'll get our first like trailer or something. Who the fuck knows? Metal Slug Tactics. This is that
Yes.
tactics
Pretty cool.
RPG, right? Or
Yeah.
tactics game.
Yes,
set in
it's
the Metal
a-
Slug universe.
Yeah. Yes,
Could
it
be
is
cool.
it is a Metal Slug Tactics game.
Yep.
Could be cool.
deduced
Looks
that-
pretty neat.
I deduced that from the title. Metroid Prime 4. Who did this? This is not,
That's a lie.
guys. That's a lie. This Metroid Prime 4 does not belong on this list. Especially-
Previous titles: Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze. Yeah,
Hey,
okay.
Tropical Freeze was a good game, Crispy.
Yeah, I know, but come on. Like,
Next game is Open Roads. This is the next game from the guy
Fulbright.
from Fulbright, the guys that did Gone Home and Tacoma.
Yes.
Has a cool,
which are both good.
both good. This is about a mother and daughter who go on a road trip to try and unlock this mystery about the daughter's grandmother, who passes away and leaves this like mysterious clue left to them about that's like hinting that there's like some kind of lost fortune or something, and they're going on a road trip to try and figure out what that's all about. So it looks cool, has a cool unique art style for the studio. I think it looks different than both of their previous titles.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I think they just have a good pedigree, man. I think this is probably an obvious. This is one of those games we're all gonna probably play. Looks neat.
Hell yeah.
Oxenfree 2.
Woo!
Oxenfree 1 was pretty cool.
I love Oxenfree.
Yeah, it has a really cool vibe to it. I like the characters. This is from the same studio that did After Party, where you're trying to outdrink the devil, which I don't even remember. Did that game come out? Was that any good? I don't feel like anybody talked about that.
I don't know.
I heard it was all right.
Well, I feel like I might need to go back and rectify that because I like that studio a lot.
I mean, it came out in December when like nobody had time for it.
Right.
I'm excited about the soundtrack because Oxenfree soundtrack was awesome.
That it was. We got Pal World. I don't know what that is. There's no details about it really, other than it's from the guys that made Craftopia and Over Dungeon.
Never heard of either of those.
The next game though looks cool. It's called Planet of Lana. It's a 2D puzzle platformer. It looks like the Earth or the planet is being invaded by robot aliens.
Not the robots.
But it looks neat. It has
good.
kind of this like hand drawn or hand painted art style. It looks pretty vibrant and bright. Has some cool science fiction-y stuff going on in there.
Looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm
Good
totally
art
into
style.
this. Totally into this. Project Eve. No details here again. Not sure what this one is all about.
Previous titles: Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child. I mean, that's what it says. It says Destiny Child.
Oh.
I don't know if that's the same thing.
No, I thought this was like a space sim. Am I right?
I don't know what this is.
By the way, the Drunken Merchant says Pal World is like Pokemon and Genshin Impact.
Oh.
Oh
Sounds-
no, Project Eve was like that Bayonetta like from that
Oh, was it the Capcom thing? No.
No, it wasn't Capcom. It was an independent Chinese developer. Shift Up. It's a weird name, Shift
Yeah,
Up.
Shift Up Corporation. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this one, but I'm gonna leave it at could be cool. Redfall. I don't think this is coming this year. This is the next Arcane game. It's that.
Oh, this is the vampire one. I want to play this.
Yeah, I want to try it too. It's co-op open world vampires.
Honestly,
from the
I
guys that
think
made
this actually
Dishonored.
might come out this year. Yeah.
I mean, Arcane has been doing a pretty good job of steadily releasing. Like they haven't left too many big gaps between their projects. So
And
maybe,
remember,
maybe
there are two studio developers. So
right.
I would say that if it does come out this year, it's going to be end of the year. Like maybe we might see some like betas or something this year. I don't know if it's actually going to come out.
Yeah.
And I'll also note that we have 40 more games on our list.
All right. I'll move at a brisker pace. Refactor. We talked a lot about.
What is
Refactor.
this?
We know these guys. This
Didn't
is
they
the
start
game
working on this game in 2012?
Yeah, I think that sounds about
Probably.
right.
I made their trailer for a release date in
That is-
2015.
That is insane.
This is
This is the year. This is it. This is the year.
This is
Yep,
the
but this
Hey,
is from
if
Next
it comes
Gen Pants,
out, I will play it day one.
Game of
Our
the
good-
year 2022 Refactor. You heard it here first.
Our good friends Bob and Joseph and Jeff, who has been on, both of which have been on the podcast very recently.
Next Gen Pants. Woo!
Yeah, dude, this game is really cool. Metroidvania, Tetroidvania, Tetroidvania looks really, really cool. We've said enough about it. Go check it out. There's
Still
the trailer in the doc.
Tetropolis to me.
Replaced. This is the game that I mentioned before the podcast, Nolan. This is the one that looks like this, like has this like super beautiful, like pixelated art style, but it looks like this like noir detective action side-scrolling game. Has an incredible look to it. It reminds me of that one game that looks so beautiful, then we all felt really bad because it turned out it was like developed by he was a piece
The
of shit.
neon, like the what was it, the last night or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
and this looks.
Yeah.
This is giving me vibes like that, but so far, we
Dude,
don't-
that
we
was
don't-
so fucking funny. They announced that Friday night at E3, he gets milkshake ducked on Twitter, and then like Saturday morning during the PC showcase, he's like in front of the world apologizing. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's so funny.
Did that game effectively get canceled because of
Dude,
that?
I
Because we
don't,
never
I
saw
don't
it.
know. It like went away hard
Yeah,
though,
it
didn't it?
disappeared.
It was like he had it in the palm of his hand. He was
Dude,
so close, and then boom,
ironically
social
or
media got him.
coincidentally, I clicked on the trailer for Replaced, and literally on YouTube, the next thing it's recommending is the Last Night trailer.
Damn.
Wow.
Replaced is the new Last Night, but for people who don't want to support, a shithead, because that was literally developed by one guy, and he was a shithead. So, all right. So
Christ.
next we have RPG Time: The Legend of Wright. Don't know. I'm gonna let it breathe. Anybody want to speak up?
Nope.
I don't know what that
The
is.
next one, though.
Salt and Sacrifice, baby.
Yeah.
The sequel to Salt and Sanctuary.
So good. So
I'll
excited for
take it.
this one.
I'll take it. I don't know if it's coming this year, but it doesn't seem unrealistic to me. It's been a while since we had Salt and Sanctuary, and what else is there to say? It's one of the good 2D Souls likes that has taken off and people love it. So
Fantastic
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
We got two quick mentions. Scars Above. I don't know what this is necessarily. These don't have any details on them. Or that one doesn't. We got Serial Cleaners, which is a sequel to
Serial Cleaner. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it looks pretty interesting. It's a stealth kind of. You're trying to kill people and then clean up the bodies and stuff like that, and not get caught.
Ooh,
yeah,
sounds like my jam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. Shadow Warrior 3. This is like that really like beautiful, like cool looking first person shooter that's like super over the top, but it's like also I don't know what
Shadow Warriors is.
No. I mean,
He doesn't know about the
Warriors
bunny.
is, but there's something so
bunny.
visually striking about this sequel.
Yeah,
I think, right? This is just like ridiculous looking.
It is definitely even more over the top than previous games. Yes.
Yeah. So I think I'm into it. I feel like I should probably go back and play at least one or two of the other ones though.
Did you ever finish Dusk?
Dusk. Oh wait.
Yeah,
yes.
you finished Dusk.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did. It took me a while to really like get into the groove with Dusk, but I finally did, and that's an excellent video game.
Okay.
I noticed nobody put Gloomwood on this list.
I thought I saw it.
It's
Oh,
not.
no, I
We're
thought
past the
Whisper.
G's. We're past the G's, and it in here. But Gloomwood is worth mentioning if you're a fan of Dusk or Thief. It's like those two had a baby.
I
It
thought
looks
that
cool.
was out of early access right now.
Yeah, but like I'm waiting for a 1.0 release before I play
Okay.
it.
All right.
Shovel
Knight Dig.
It's like roguelike Shovel Knight, but you're digging down. So isn't it? Is it
Hell
kind of like?
yeah.
Is it kind of like whatchamacallit?
Dig
Totally
Dug?
like whatchamacallit. No, not like Dig Dug. I know what Nick's going for. I'm waiting for him to say it.
I don't remember. Is
Downwell.
Dig deep.
You're close. You're close.
Minor
God.
Who's
Minor
digging
Dig
deep, Nick? There you go. You got
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I got there eventually.
And then also similar to that, SteamWorld Dig, which came out afterwards. Minor Dig Deep is definitely the OG game. That I don't even. Can you even play that anymore?
I don't know.
Isn't it gone?
It was only on Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah, it was an XBLA game. Yeah, and then they yeah, dude, that game was so good though. But yeah, it very much this is 100% inspiration from Minor Dig Deep and then SteamWorld Dig. So it looks like it's going to be fun. So I'll definitely play it.
Cool. Next we have Silt. This looks cool. This is like it looks like underwater limbo.
Yeah, but like more puzzle. Like I've seen the trailer and I'm not really sure if I'm remembering it correctly, but it almost seemed like you're like taking over. Yeah, possessing stuff to help solve puzzles. So obviously there were some kind of moments like that in Limbo. But we had like the helmets, and you were like controlling the guys and making them do stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of making them kill themselves so you could progress. But it kind of seems like there's some similar stuff going on in this, where you're like, making a fish like go into some trap or something to set it off so you can proceed. So it looks interesting.
Right. Yeah, I'm into this. We got Skate Story, letting it breathe. Skull and Bones. I don't think this game is ever happening.
Skull and Bones got shadow canceled, right?
Yeah, I mean,
probably.
It's been in development hell, and they said they went back to the drawing board. But like, I feel like the ship has sailed,
Which is weird because
Yeah.
it was just based on fucking Assassin's Creed naval combat, which they already had. Like,
yeah.
how much more of that do they need to?
I mean,
the time to expound upon that is past because Black Flag was like 6 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
I
mean, if it comes down to it, like, I think Skull and Bones has a much better chance of actually being a product than Beyond Good and Evil 2. So
that's true.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, only because it's like not ambitious at all. Slime Rancher 2.
Slime Rancher 2. Letting It Breathe.
Sequel to Slime Rancher, which I guess people like.
I wish I could say more. Slime Rancher has been on my to playlist forever, and I haven't gotten around to it. So everything I hear about it is good, though.
Isn't the original a Brad game?
Brad game.
I don't know what that means.
Is it like a game that
Brad
really liked it?
A lot of people really liked it.
I don't know.
It's a pretty universally loved game to my knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, but was Brad the only one on the podcast that played it?
Probably.
I think so. Honestly.
Okay. Slitterhead.
Slitterhead. That's
the title.
This is
I hate this title.
Yeah, I agreed.
I mean, I don't really have a
feeling.
Silent
Hill, so we're all excited.
It's not Silent Hill though. It really isn't. I mean, it looks more Siren than Silent Hill, but even then, it doesn't really look like Siren either.
Yeah,
but
Siren
you can
set
definitely
in like a Kowloon City like.
You can definitely see the inspiration of Siren in this, and I'm into that. It's gonna music composed by Akira Yamaoka, which is a big deal for Silent Hill fans. So maybe not the Silent Hill announcement I was hoping for in 2021, but definitely cool. This is from the original creator of Siren and Silent Hill, Kichiro Toyama. So I'm excited. I don't think this is coming this year because we just got this announcement like last month. But either way, it looks cool. Soul Cresta.
What is?
Letting It Breathe.
I don't know that one.
It's a shmup where you split up your ship. What? Okay, I can't even read this. It's a shmup. It's called Soul Cresta.
I don't believe in shmups.
Let's get to the real good game here, which is called Somerville.
This one looks good.
It's an adventure game from the co-founder of Play Dead. Obviously, the guys that did Limbo and Inside, and it has Inside vibes, but it also looks like War of the Worlds. And every time I see this game, it makes me super excited. I really hope this comes out this year because this is gonna be dope as hell. I have a feeling this is gonna be like the next Inside.
Yeah, this looks crazy.
I'm super excited for this. All right, gonna rattle off a few quick ones. We got Song of Nunu, a League of Legends story.
Yeah.
Letting It Breathe. Splatoon 3.
That'll probably come out this year, right?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
That's probably this summer.
That's a pretty safe bet. I just didn't know if anybody here was particularly.
I might actually play it. I don't know. I might.
Okay.
I might. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, go for it. You fly your
Fine, I will.
I keep trying to say fly your freak flag, but you can't
Let
say
your
that very quickly.
freak flag fly.
Let your freak flag fly. Okay. Sports Story. This is like the sequel to Golf Story, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this one for Chris Davis's sake.
Golf Story is fucking excellent. Brad actually bought it and is playing it right now, from what I understand.
Oh, cool. Well, that's neat.
Is Golf Story the horror game or the one where you're just playing?
It's the RPG where you play
the classic RPG, but everything is based around playing golf, and it's great.
I was thinking of the horror game that takes place on the putt-putt golf course.
That's a thing.
What game is that?
Yeah.
You guys don't know about that?
No,
I don't know. But
where it's like you're playing putt-putt. It's a first-person game. You're playing putt-putt on a miniature golf course, and there's like this fucking golf ball mascot that's like stalking around and will like murder you.
Don't know that one.
Dude, it's funny. I've never heard of this, but you're describing this, and I can't help but picture it in like the style of Inscription.
Come on,
for some reason.
No. It's just keep going.
Okay. Let's see. Squadron 51. I don't know what this is.
I played the demo of it during the Steam Next Fest back in June, I think. It's that 2D shmup that's heavily inspired by 1940s and 50s sci-fi serials.
I remember you talking about this.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an interesting art style. I don't think it works that well mechanically.
I would say for this, let's move on, but let's reference the if you go back and listen to that podcast specifically where we talked about was it called Next Fest? Is that what it's called?
Steam Next Fest.
Yes.
Steam Next Fest. Thank you. Find that episode. We talked about a bunch of games, and this was definitely one of them. So,
the game I was talking about. I'm sorry. The game I'm talking about is called Gone Golfing.
Gone
Golfing.
Okay.
Is it out?
Such a cute name.
Yeah, it's out. It came out like a year or two ago.
I'm looking it up now so I can remember to check it out.
But it's already out, so it's not pertinent to this conversation.
Very true. Next game, Star Ocean: The Divine Force. It's a RPG. It's the Star Ocean sequel. I don't know much about the Star Ocean series. I feel like this is one of those games that Brad would have a lot more to say about it. Because he has a big history with JRPGs, and this is definitely one of them.
It's Tri-Ace, the co-developer of probably my favorite JRPG, Lost Odyssey. So,
oh yeah,
maybe I'll take a look at it.
There we go. Star Trek Resurgence, Crispy.
It'll be cool.
Third-person choice-driven adventure game from Telltale.
Okay, but here's the thing: it's a Star Trek video game, which means it's probably bad, because all of them are.
Yes.
I hope it's not, but it also, the story's interesting. I don't know. It looks like they're trying to do a Telltale thing. They have two main characters. They have like an engineering ensign and a commander or something that you're following the both of them. And
right.
Not my first choice for that style of game for a Star Trek game,
Right.
But I don't know. Could be cool. Could be cool.
Could be cool.
I hope it is. I love Star Trek.
I'm rooting for you. Star Wars Hunters. I don't remember what this is.
This is that like arena shooter game where it's like
it's from Zynga.
I don't know. It looks really weird, and I think it's a phone game. And honestly, despite every fiber of my being telling me that this game probably won't be that great, I really want it to be because it actually looks kind of cool. There's a lot of like really interesting character designs going on, like the character, like one of the characters is a droid that thinks it's a Jedi and has like a lightsaber. One of the characters is a Ugnaught that like rolls around in a modified droideka from Star Wars Episode 1. That's like really kind of fucking cool. There's like one of the characters is like two Jawas or something, or like three Jawas stacked together. I don't know. It looks really cool, but it's like an arena shooter, so it's like 3v3 or 5v5 or something like that. Character. It looks really weird. It's kind of like this Zynga like cell phone game. Might not be that good, but I don't know. I'm gonna try it. So
cool. Well, let us know what you find out.
Yeah.
Stargate Timekeepers, real-time tactics Stargate game. Looks like Shadow Tactics.
It's 95% Shadow Tactics, down to like the fucking vision cones and enemy patterns and things like that. Yeah, it's
probably a good thing though, because
it's not what I would want out of a Stargate game. Like a proper Stargate game should be XCOM, but hey, real-time tactics, I'll take another one.
All right. Moving right along, we got Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
Oh, this game's pretty dope.
Do we think this comes out the same year as Gotham Knights? I don't know if they're not directly competing, I guess, but
I could see them coming out in two different seasons. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe.
Like trying to maintain that market share for sure.
Maybe we'll get Gotham in like the summer and Suicide Squad in the winter or something.
Like Gotham Knights looks really cool. I'm actually more excited about this.
This is Rocksteady, and it has a really different tone and vibe than Arkham games, but like looks equally as
it's like
cool.
it's fucking Brainiac taking over Metropolis and like all kinds of whiz bang action
controlling the
and
Justice
stuff.
League. Yeah,
That's cool. That's good. That's sauce. You know,
I think something's got to give with the Warner Brothers Interactive like catalog for this year. Like if Suicide Squad makes it for this year, then Hogwarts doesn't, and vice versa.
That's probably true.
I don't think
I don't think that has to be the case.
given. Yeah.
I don't know. I
We'll
could see that.
We'll see.
You know
Could be cool.
You know what? While I'm probably gonna end up playing both of those games, Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad, bulk like mostly solo. I'm excited for the idea, the prospect of like us getting together for like a multiplayer night and co-oping those games on the stream. I feel like those could both be a lot of fun.
I also hope that they're not too similar. You know what I mean? Because they both kind of are like towing that line. It seems like.
But they both look like they have decidedly different.
They both have different tones for sure, but the gameplay might end up being a
little too similar. Who knows?
We'll see.
We got the System Shock remake, which we've been looking forward to or waiting for a long time. I'm looking forward to it just as someone who never got to play the original System Shock, and this looks like maybe the best way to go about doing that.
So the remake is happening, but 3 has been canceled, or is it vice versa? Do we know?
I don't think anything is canceled. I think they're both still in development.
Okay.
System Shock 3 was the one that was being developed. They brought on oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? Lives here in Austin, worked on System Shock.
Oh, are you talking about Sean?
No, not Sean. Oh my god.
What's his name?
Disney's. Oh my god, I can't remember the Mickey Mouse paintbrush game.
Oh, Will Spector.
Will Spector, thank you.
Yeah.
I think he's involved again with System Shock 3, but you know. But yeah, there's been some hubbub around System Shock. I hope both these games end up coming out, but that only time will tell on that one. Let's see. The Callisto Protocol, which is the spiritual successor to Dead Space, developed by Glenn Schofield, his team. He's the one who created the original Dead Space, and this feels very much like him wanting to make something very similar, but obviously he can't make Dead Space anymore, so he's making this. And it looks really fucking wild, and I want to completely ignore the fact that anybody ever said that it takes place in the PUBG universe, because I feel like that is...
Oh, this is that game! Oh, this is awesome.
I don't think that means anything.
It means nothing.
Dude, it's got to. It has to. It has to mean something, and I'm going to play it because of that. It has to mean something.
Wonderful.
I mean, because even if it doesn't, that's insane in and of itself, right?
Like, it is. But the trailer looks really, really cool. I hope we see more of that this year. I don't think we'll get it. At least we won't get it in whatever year we get Dead Space, the remake. I think it's going to be one or the other. So I think maybe we'll get one of those this year, but I don't know which one to put my money on. We got the Division Heartland. This is that free-to-play Division game.
Yeah.
Anything to add there, Chris Davis?
I mean, that was being tested this past summer. Like, there were huge leaks of that. It's really weird that this exists, and there's a Division 3 coming out, and then Massive is working on a Star Wars game and Avatar, and they're coming out with Division 2 DLC this year. So, like,
man, they're spread thin, I would imagine.
It's weird what's going on with this, and I don't have high hopes, but I wish the best for it.
I would just say hold out for the Division 3. I mean, personally, I think that's the safer bet here. As a fan of the Division, I think you're probably going to get more bang for your buck. Well, I guess if it's free to play. Never mind. You know where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
The Expanse. This is another Chris Davis one. Very excited.
This wasn't actually on the list. I just added it in. But so hyped for this.
I think I will be more hyped for it once I actually get to the Expanse. It looks cool,
you've only finished season 1, right?
I've only finished season 1, but it's one of those shows I fully intend to go back to and finish.
Man.
So
the shit hasn't even hit the fan for you, but once it does, like, oh my god.
I feel like I'm kind of getting there to the point where I'm kind of in the mood for a sci-fi show, so I think that might be something I watch here pretty soon. House of the Dead remake. letting it breathe. Nope. Could be cool.
Cool. Could be cool.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel could be cool.
That is not coming out this year.
You know what I mean?
That's not coming out this year.
You don't. All right, Crispy's saying no on Breath of the Wild 2. I think.
Do you think it is? Do you think it is? I mean,
I think
it might be.
It would be incredible if it is, but like, really, come on.
I mean, think this is a fall launch.
I'm gonna. If you're telling me right now that Breath of the Wild 2 is gonna come out in the same year as God of War Ragnarok, Final Fantasy XVI, Elden Ring, Dying Light 2, Horizon Forbidden West.
Maybe Nick. Maybe we deserve it for once.
This
okay?
This would be the best year of gaming period done.
Maybe we deserve it after all the hell we've been through.
Maybe we do.
This is our reward.
Maybe we fucking do.
Maybe 2022 is the best year in gaming ever, and then in 2023 the world explodes. Like,
that's it. We've peaked. The world explodes and it's done.
Peak humanity.
The Lord of the Rings Gollum.
This is cool. Man. I want to play this.
I mean, I keep thinking they're going to show us what it is. Like, I thought they were going to get a reveal at the Game Awards. Like, they teased a reveal.
I mean, it's going to be like...
It was just more cinematics.
It's going to be like that fucking... What's the Goblin stealth game? Sticks or something?
Sticks, Shadows. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that, but whatever, man. I love Lord of the Rings. I'm into it. Let's do it!
I mean, I want to do it! The Outlast Trials, which is essentially Outlast 3, but it's a co-op survival horror game. I'm disappointed because I really just wanted a proper Outlast 3, but at the same time, they're trying something new, so it could make for a fun game to play on the stream. So we'll see what that ultimately turns into.
I want you and Robin to play that co-op.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition.
Yes.
We talked about this recently. This will be the thing that gets me to finally play the Stanley Parable.
It is.
I'm sure.
Supposedly in December, it is content complete. It's just going through bug fixing. It's probably due out in the next month or two.
Yes.
Sweet. We got the Wolf Among Us 2. I'm still not entirely sure. I'm convinced this exists. Really, it's one of those weird post-Telltale projects. We haven't really said anything about it in over a year, so who knows what's up with that. Thirsty Suitors?
What? I don't know what that is, but that's a cool name.
I remember the name, but like,
Thirsty Suitors. Let's see. Ooh.
I mean, I see. Yeah.
From the guys who made Falcon Age?
Oh, of course, Falcon Age. Yes, quite.
Yeah, I don't know.
Totally tells us.
It looks like a dating fighting game. Wait, no, it's like skateboarding and shit. I don't know. This looks crazy.
Oh, wait a second. Isn't this the one where? Hold on. Is this the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, where it's like you play. Oh, they showed this at the Game Awards last month.
Yeah, I think so.
At some point, and I
battle your exes, disappoint your parents, find yourself.
Yeah, this made me. The concept just made me think a little bit of Scott Pilgrim a bit.
A stylish, story-driven adventure that unfolds through turn-based battles, skateboarding, and cooking.
Hell yeah,
that could be cool. I'm gonna highlight that because I kind of want to remember to check that out.
Could be cool.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge. This is classic TMNT arcade like throwback, super nostalgic. Looks really neat. Looks beautiful.
Be cool.
I totally want to play this. I think this will be a fun game to play all together on the stream. Could be so much fun.
Yeah, sure.
And the last three quick mentions: Untitled Samurai game. In parentheses, it says Goemon's successor. I think Drunken Merchant put that in there.
Is that real?
Mess with us.
That's not real.
I don't know what that is. Witchbrook sounds familiar.
Oh, this is the Hogwarts game.
Yeah, this is Stardew Valley and Hogwarts.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like, oh, we're gonna do a story about a wizard and witch school so that you can support this instead of Harry Potter.
But not to be confused with the Haunted Chocolatier, which is not on this list.
Correct. Yes.
Right, which maybe
and that's a good point. We should have had that one because very excited for that one.
I'm into the idea of Witchbrook. We also have World of Horror I don't remember which one this is.
Wait, didn't that come out? Isn't
I
that
feel
the?
like that did.
Isn't that like Junji Ito looking ass? Like
Yeah, it absolutely is. It says available
roguelike?
now. Oh, it's in early access, so we're still waiting on it to play it.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
But yeah,
cool.
that
I
is
haven't played that, but it looks really cool.
definitely has a unique look and vibe to it for sure. And since somebody added The Last of Us 2 multiplayer on here at the very end, the last second, I'm gonna guess that was Nolan or
That was me.
that was Crispy.
I just read something last night about how Naughty Dog is looking for developers with experience in microtransactions,
Yes.
which maybe hints at this game being free to play microtransaction model.
Very
I mean,
well
I
could
hope
be.
it's a
But
situation
they're working
where-
on it, and maybe it'll come
Yeah.
out this year, and
I hope
maybe
so.
it'll be as good as Factions, because
All right,
Factions was dope.
We've reached the end of our list, guys. And so, first of all, I want to send a shout out to everybody in the community who helped me put this list together. Y'all make this list possible every year by just going into this Google Doc and just filling it out. Like, literally, I barely had to do anything except kind of organize it before the show. So, seriously, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're interested in helping us with next year's list, just be a part of our Discord, because that's where we posted it. Also, real quick before we wrap up, we're not going to do a 4-player minute this week because we're going a little long, but if I put you on the spot, if you had to pick one game that you're most excited for, let's maybe exclude the obvious option.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That's mine.
There we go, Crispy. Nolan, you got one that comes to mind?
Oh, this is so tough.
I mean, realistically speaking, this year looks absolutely insane. So,
yes.
Hard to pick just one.
I probably should have thought about it earlier. I will say if Witchbrook does come out this year, then yeah, Witchbrook.
Okay, cool. Chris Davis, you got one? What comes to mind for you?
I mean, it's almost a split between Sea of Stars and Breath of the Wild 2.
Fuck, Sea
Okay.
of Stars.
You
looks so
can't
good.
say Breath of the Wild 2. We all agreed we weren't saying Breath of the Wild 2.
I don't recall agreeing. So.
Because that would be everybody's. Nick said without saying the obvious one.
I was referring to Elden Ring, honestly.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm switching mine from Witchbook to Sea of Stars to also Cult of the Lamb.
Okay, there we go. That's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna name drop. I mean, I've said it before, and I feel to an extent I feel kind of gross about this, but Hogwarts Legacy. I can't turn that. I can't just turn that off.
Nick.
I'm very excited about it.
Also,
wait a minute. We didn't mention that Vampire the Masquerade Battle Royale. That's coming out one too, right?
Did you want to?
Yeah. They did like an early access release, like a limited release of it, and apparently it's really good. So I don't know.
We didn't even mention Vampire the Masquerade 2.
Oh yeah.
You know what else we didn't mention? One of the greatest looking video games of all time, Lies of P, which is that Pinocchio Soulsborne game that looks kind of wickedly cool.
Yeah.
I want to see more of that because that could be dope as shit. But you know what? I mentioned Hogwarts Legacy because I feel obligated to because I'm a big Harry Potter fan and whatever. But I will go ahead and throw out a few others that I'm super excited for. Replaced, which is that really cool like noir side-scrolling, the one we talked about the last what is it? Last of Night or
the last
really cool. Yeah, the last night looks really dope.
The one by the Inside guys, right?
No. This is Replaced is the one that looks.
Right.
You should go watch the trailer for Replaced because it's absolutely batshit insane looking. And what else do I want to mention? I mean, you know what? The one that looks like Limbo, the one that looks like Inside actually is Somerville, and I think that might be up there for me as well. Yeah,
yes.
that is definitely one that I'm looking forward to a lot.
And Gotham Knights.
Yeah, Gotham Knights looks dope. Yeah, dude, there's so much to look forward to this year, so we can stop there. We've gone a little long. There we go. Fuck it. Just let's just go over the list again. Fuck it.
Yeah, just the whole thing.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight for our first podcast of the year. I hope this gives you some ideas, gets the juices flowing, starts getting you thinking about all the stuff coming out in the near future. The top 10 videos for 2021 that we are going to produce will be out soon-ish. I think my list is final. We'll get them out to you as soon as we can. Chris Davis is smiling.
Reminder. I just never mind. No worries.
You threw me off guard there, Chris Davis.
Sorry.
A couple reminders before we finish this off. If you want to vote for in the Revival Club, again, this is the list curated by Chris Davis. Voting is open through January 15th. We're going to play the game through the end of February. I'm going to try and be a little bit more strict about when these games are being played and when we're recording the podcast in 2022. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. So the winner of this poll will play starting January 15th. We'll hopefully cap it off at the end of February, and I'll record the podcast first week of March, and then we'll start the voting, and we'll do it all over again. Again, those games are Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, Warhammer 40k, Space Marine, and Dead Space 3. So if you want to vote, support us on Patreon at the $3 tier or higher at patreon.com/4Player, or you can subscribe on Twitch. Either way, there's you'll find the link for voting in the voting channel, the new voting channel I set up in the Revival Club section of Discord. Get those votes in for the 15th, and we'll play a fun game together. We'll stream it. We'll talk about it. It'll be good times. And lastly, I want to remind everybody that we'll be doing an awards show at some point before the end of the month where we talk about all of the stuff we played and enjoyed in 2021. So I think Brad will be here for that, and I think Ed will be here for that. It'll be a fun show. We'll let everybody know when we have a date kind of settled in for that. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. Be good to each other. Play video games. And we will see you next time. Good night.
Night.
Bye.